Last we left off, you had a short dinner with Bramble, having idle conversation and a promise of her lullaby potions that afford the drinker the feeling of a long rest in a much shorter time frame. Afterwards, you went to chat with Silvani to gather more information, only to find that her allegiances might not have ever been with the parties. Crashing thunder and blackening skies swirled over top of the tree, and rain started pouring down as you raced up to the top to confront Quintus. A confrontation was had where he stayed mostly out of reach, waiting for the portal to open before disappearing into the abyss, saying that he was going to meet his queen. After he disappeared into the abyss, he left you all to face the horrors of a Vrock. Arceus was grabbed by the winged beast and almost dropped, but she managed to cling on for dear life until Herc grabbed the carrion beast by the neck and drug it back onto the tree before punching a hole in the demon bird's skull, killing it. Seeing the entirety of the village standing down at the base of the tree peering up at you, you all decided to take advantage of Featherfall, jumping off of the back of the tree and fleeing north through the woods towards Eveningstar. That is where we resume in the King's Forest, a few miles north of the Knightswood. Still multiple hours march to get to Eveningstar. Is there anything that you want to discuss or questions that you have, Mr. Herc?
Yeah, would I be able to take a trophy? It's a rock. It has arms in the picture. Do rocks have arms, or is it a different kind of?
It's a Varrock.
Yeah, Varrock.
Oh,
with
Varrock.
With a V.
Okay.
I think it turned into some like sort of demon ash or some shit like that afterwards.
Oh, really?
I don't know if I described that. Maybe it's skull, because I remember
that's just headcanon.
Video game, so
yeah,
it must be true here.
Yeah.
D&D is exactly like a video game.
Could I have taken some kind of trophy?
Depends on what you were looking for. You did have a handful of bird brains. I don't know if you remember flaunting that off.
Doesn't keep very well. In my hand or in my skull, the bird brains?
In your hand. Like as you punched punched into its skull, and when you retracted, you were. Anyways, yeah, I don't know. You can keep a talon or something.
A talon, yeah, I'll take a talon.
Yeah, you can chop off one of its fingers.
And now we're on the way. Yeah. Now we're on the way to Eveningstar.
Yes, which you would have learned, because I think everybody learned a little bit, that is, I think, Sammy, how exactly did you word your relation to Eveningstar?
Got like people there, I think is what he said.
Something like that. Place I know.
Yeah. Knowing
I wouldn't call it home, but I'm kind of more on the outskirts of it, but probably the most familiar city that I know.
You're from the rural area.
I mean,
of Eveningstar.
Eveningstar has a size of about 1,000.
There isn't much. Most of it's
big, but that's the big city to the.
I mean, compared to Monroe, that only had maybe a couple hundred, like it's much larger. I mean, there's really only 3 major cities: Arabelle, Suzail, and Marzember. Everything outside of that, like this is, probably the 4th largest city in Cormyr.
This is Minneapolis compared to like Chicago and New York and LA.
What was the question?
How many people are in Suzail?
Like 100-something thousand. I can double check that for you real quick.
It's only 1,000 people in Eveningstar, Sammy. And you grew up in some tumbleweed outside of it. Boy, Suzail must have been quite a shock to you. Millions of people teeming in the streets and the sewers and elsewhere.
I didn't mean to take you there.
I suppose it's bigger than Monroe. But do they have delicious mushrooms? That remains
It's a
to be
good
seen.
crowd over there. Not a whole lot going on, but it's be a good place.
So we can't expect a hero's welcome as we enter and they see you approach.
Judging by the
Well,
time of day versus how long it's going to take to get there, we're probably not going to be. We're going to be arriving towards the evening. I doubt there's going to be very many people that are actively awaiting our arrival. I didn't intend for a hero's welcome or anything.
yeah, and I can't say that I left the place in the best of terms. So, but it's about as much a home as a place could be. So,
The jilted lover waiting for us? Sounds messy. sir.
no, not a jilted lover. Just a hard life. It's all.
Hmm. Did you have to turn
I
to
mean-
crime?
I know
Oh.
that we. Sorry. I know that we're headed that way anyways, but it might actually behoove us to skip heading. Information travels rather fast with these hive mind folks. Maybe if we skirt the town, head on north, then they won't necessarily know which way we went.
You're
I
gonna
don't
say
wanna
that
say
around all the
that,
trees that are listening to us right now?
Well, I'm honestly not sure, Mr. Herc. Maybe.
Rin speaks up.
There's
If they're still communing in the basement, I can't describe what I saw or heard for that matter, but it's possible that they're listening in on us right now. We might want to choose caution.
look at city like Eveningstar here. It's not a small little place like Monroe. There's gonna be people there. It's gonna be protected. Nowhere near as Suzelle, mind you, but it'll be a good place.
There
So
is.
if they want to try to do something.
It is a
can.
city. It is a city, but blending in with a crowd of people might not be a bad idea.
I'm gonna lay this one to rest. Listen, with this rain, the gorge is gonna be flooded. The streams are probably gonna be coming up over top of the road that we planned on traveling through those mountains. I'm gonna need to either wait until this rain stops, or I'm gonna need some time to plot on a map to figure out an alternative direction. I really don't want to lose several days traveling all the way to Knowles Pass only to loop back around again. The clearest way is through these Stormhorn Mountains, through this gorge. But we can't do that with this rain, so I need a place that I can think, look at a map. So even if it's just for a night, we need a place to stay. And if we're staying on the Eveningstar River, on the Starwater River, which Eveningstar is, I can see the nature of the stream. Maybe even take a walk up there myself to see how dangerous it is, whether or not we could traverse it. It's the way that we have to go to get to the desert.
It's
You know,
been a bad experience every time we've interacted with people. That's all I'm saying.
Well, we just take a day to survey everything. It can't hurt to check out a few of my my old haunts as well. Maybe stop in and check in on some people.
Can't we just take a boat if it's going to be raining?
I don't think boats go up mountains there, Herc.
They
Water's
also
the
don't.
wrong way.
Yeah, they would have a very difficult time traveling upstream.
Can't use magic to make it go the other way or stop the rain or
I'm
give us a
sure.
boat with...
Some wizards
I think
could,
that you,
but
I think you'd have better luck talking to one of your gods there and praying that they push the boat up the river for us.
Great idea,
You know,
Sammy. Are there any
there's actually a
shrines in
nice.
Eveningstar?
There are actually. There's a nice old man there, Father Ulrich. No, he's not too hoity-toity on the religion side of things, but I think the two of you could have a nice little talk about shared beliefs.
And what god does Father Ulrich exalt?
Oh,
Lathander.
I think I was getting there.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you remembered when you said
I remember.
Oh, okay.
I think it was Lathander, the Morning Lord.
Perfect.
Conveniently enough, the house is it's the House of the Morning or something like that. So kind of ties in with their beliefs.
Do you know any places we can stay where we can lay low for the night?
There's a couple of places over there. There's the Golden Unicorn's a little fancy for us, but it probably won't be as occupied.
I say we go
couple
to the Golden
places.
Unicorn. You never know what could happen. This could be our last chance for a real nice time.
Well, you talk about that, but it's been a few years since I've been here, but I've been there, but I was kind of thinking about checking something out myself. Maybe if you'd entertain me a little bit, just a little spooky fairy tale kind of thing going on over there. But I mean, I'm not a kid anymore, and I'll tell you about it as we're walking on the way to Eveningstar.
Like we are right now.
But you have
Tail
any
away.
other questions? Well,
All right.
I mean, is there anything else that you're looking for in Eveningstar while we're headed up there?
So you were born there? Your family's there?
Yes. Last I know that my family was there. Probably still is.
Your brothers
More
and
of a-
sisters?
Yeah. 4 actually.
Wow, you're the youngest. The oldest? You're
The
the
oldest.
Oh.
I'm the oldest. You see Sammy kind of clam up a little bit at that mention.
And how old are your other siblings? You'd be excited to see them if it's been a few years.
Well,
Would they have gone their own ways?
I'm not sure. I mean, there's little Rexy. He should be about my age when I left. There's Annie and Tice and Gwendol as well. But Gwendol and Annie was they were little when I left.
That'll be exciting to see them. They're probably wondering where you've been this whole time.
I don't know if some of them remember me. As I said, they were real little.
Oh, sounds common.
And
Mr. Herc, do you have any siblings?
Nope.
Me neither.
sight check.
That I know of, anyways.
Yeah, let me get a drink real quick. Yeah, you can make an insight check.
I don't know if you want to whisper a
this will be
deception
good.
check.
How do I do that again? I click on.
I think it's \W.
And I do it. I just do.
What is it? What is the command,
I have
Sarah?
to be
You
right
know
back.
that.
What are you
\W or W \? He's trying to whisper a role to you.
Oh.
To me?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
just avoid all
Yeah.
that shit. Click the dice on the left-hand side.
Yeah, this is what I was.
Click GM roll, and then click the D20.
You have no idea. It seems like he's telling the truth. Seems like he just doesn't have any siblings.
But, you know, it'd be nice to check some other things. You know, they've got this couple of the places over there have got some really good food. And we've been on the road for a little bit right now. But, yeah. Good times. Great memories.
You meant siblings by blood, right?
Is
Because if you
there
did,
any other
then
type?
I've got a lot of siblings. I'm Stonefist, always a brother.
A metaphorical versus a literal.
Though I might have some literal siblings that I don't know about, you know. The orc virility is strong. It's difficult to control. Who knows what my old man's been up to in these past years?
Take it from me, sometimes you don't want to know.
What do you think I'm doing here?
Running away from responsibility.
You're walking with us
Not
to
my
Eveningstar?
responsibility.
Are you looking for your father?
No, I know where he is.
Are you trying to spread
Vaguely.
your virility?
Well, it's complicated, you know, because not all, I don't know if you know this, but not all half-orcs
That
are
giggle
like me.
is in character behind the group.
Okay. That was Rin,
Rin.
asking. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Kind of figured.
Yeah.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah, she's gonna like that one when she sees it.
Yeah. That's why Arsis is kind of giggling in the background.
Could be dangerous. You know, if I start spawning a bunch of little herks, some of them could be taken by Groomsh and do terrible things. So,
Oh.
for all you could say about my old man, he had self-control at least, and he taught me that as well.
And you can teach your little herks and hercats as well.
I guess that's true. But it was tough. I wasn't always this cool. You know, my mother had a good hand in it too. Anyway. Well, that's great, Sammy. We're gonna see your siblings and
What about you,
No.
Miss Rand? Did you have any little brothers or sisters? Big brothers or sisters?
We're gonna put a pin in that one because I do not know what she would or would not disclose.
Okay.
But
Racker?
Oh no, only child. I
only
think that's,
child.
I
Called
think that's
it.
why my dad is the way he is.
It's the way. Why it's the way you are. You didn't have many friends growing up, did you, Riker?
I mean, I wasn't gonna put it like that, but yeah, you're right. I didn't.
Well, living under the roof of a notoriously hard man, I can understand. And
Well, you have a different mind, Riker. You've got, you're into got your laboratory.
I just lift up my cannon.
Yep.
Yeah, it's, I don't know, just something that's always came naturally to me.
That's really cool.
Have you ever...
No, Arthas.
Sorry, this is gonna be Arv. Have you ever commissioned anything for the crown? Have you ever worked on anything outside of just for yourself?
Not really. I built this, pointing to my cannon, but that's been more of a recent accomplishment. I haven't done anything for the crown.
So I haven't seen anything like that in the Citadel or any studies that I've come across. I could imagine that whether it be wizards or even some of our knights could use something like that to help make up for their, lackings. You seem pretty good with your tinkering.
Well, if we make it out of this in one piece, I might.
We do indeed still have a long way to go. I remain hopeful that we'll make it back in one piece.
We just keep our eyes open on the road. Well, so to speak. I don't think we should be on the main road at least. But
Yeah, could I get somebody to make a survival check to make sure that you are still going north, unless somebody has the feet? Riker, you have the...
No, I was pointing up to Arceus.
Oh, okay. Got the Brady Bunch situation going on. Does Arceus always know?
Yeah.
Grew up in the wild, far from witness. Okay.
Didn't say that. You have an excellent memory for maps and geography. You can always recall the general layout of a terrain, settlements, and other features around you. In addition, you can find food and fresh water for yourself and up to 5 other people each day, provided the land offers berries. So that's the Outlander background.
Okay.
Feature wanderer. I can still make a survival check though.
I'd say
I'm
you.
also proficient in that.
I'd say you figure it out.
Okay.
Rin got back to me, so I can divulge a little bit of information.
Ooh.
As you ask her, my story's a long one, but I didn't necessarily have the most attentive parents growing up. My mom was always searching for love in all the wrong places, and eventually she found it. There was a lord that took a fancy to her, got her pregnant, and I thought we had kind of made it. He took us into his manor in Suzail. Mother was pregnant, but when she had the baby, we were kicked to the curb. I've never seen my little sister.
The two of you were kicked to the curb, but he kept your sister?
Yeah. I don't quite understand it, but at the time, I was kind of an angry teen, and I just took it out on the world, and it's part of the reason why I wound up in prison.
You were in prison?
Yeah, just for a short time.
What did you do?
I beat a man.
Bet he deserved it.
He was talking ill, and I had enough of it.
And they sent you to prison?
You have to understand, the city was a difficult time after the war. Everything was on much tighter lockdown. The prisons were bursting at the seams, but they didn't really seem to care. They just kept stuffing it.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I think... Shit.
33?
I don't think she's in her 30s. I think
She's in her 30s.
Is she in her 30s?
I think so.
Is it a-
Fuck.
Yeah, I think she is in her 40s.
No, she's not in her 40s. Quit raising the number. She's definitely not. Shit.
I think
She
she's
might be in her
55 or something.
50s.
Pretty certain she's in her 30s.
I think she's like 56.
Eight.
I thought she was like 35.
Something like that, yeah.
She might be.
Something like that.
Let me peep
Is
through.
it not on her character?
Like-
sheet?
43.
It is. I found it. I'm 33.
So you had to have been very young if you're talking about right after the war.
Yeah, I was. Like I said, teens.
Man, and if only you'd been picked up by, I don't know, Milo Dudley or something like that, you could have been. Well, obviously you turned to music, and that must have been freeing. Did you do that after prison then?
There's a little mixture, a couple different things. I used to go to there was a little trinket shop, a secondhand store that, you know, like I said, my mother wasn't really around. She was always working or trying to find herself finding me a new father or her a new husband or boyfriend or whatever she was doing, searching for love. And I would go, and there was, looking for the name. There was this kind halfling that owned it, Wiltrin Hogkettle, and he always used to sing to me and play the lute, and he would buy anything that I had stolen or found. And that was the start of it. That's where I really took a liking to music. He showed me a real kindness that not very many people had ever shown. And then when I was inside, it was rough at first, especially being so young. But I met an older guy named Claudio that he taught me how to play music. He would write in the courtyard. There were stone walls, and he would scrawl off in the corner music. Use a stone onto the stone and etch in the notes, and taught me the theory behind it. And that's kind of how I learned to play without ever even having an instrument. Then when I got out, I worked for a luthier in Marzember for a little bit.
Or luthier?
Lutes.
Oh,
I don't know the pronunciation of that. Luthier. Lutier.
luthier.
I'm gonna go with it. I like Luthier. Let's hope for engagement from our viewers.
Luthier. Let me see the pronunciation.
Always go to
Luthier.
Jupiter.
No, it is Luthier.
Luthier.
Yep, Luthier. Okay, I was right. Yes. The maker of lutes. But enough about me. I say as both character and DM.
Fair.
Anyways, after having a decent chat amongst all of you, is there any other lingering questions before we fast forward into the future few hours as we trek through the woods and get to the southern edge of Eveningstar before making the decision to enter in or skirt the town? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Hold on, wait. I'm looking at something here right quick. I really don't have anything else to add. I'd probably talk about some of the high points of Eveningstar. So,
I know you said you were sharing some scary folk tales or
oh yeah,
haunted stories or something.
middle of the night. Yeah, you know, it was a lovely place. It was a bandit hideout. We were told when we were kids, but some of us were like, it's just bandits. It's a big keep. You can wander about all over the place and not run into anybody at all. But they didn't tell you about all the other scary things until threatened to go into the keep. That's when that's when the parents got really nasty about it. Talked about all the hold on, I'm looking for my notes that I wrote. Everybody knows about your red caps that run around and stomp around.
Wait, what's so
But they
scary
don't
about
tell you.
people wearing red hats?
Where's the keep?
Oh, it's a little north of Eveningstar proper, but
Is it like a ruin?
kind of. It's still standing. It's not in terrible shape, but
It's in pretty
what
bad
was your
shape.
question?
Yeah, it's in pretty bad shape. Maybe not to a kid. Like a lot of the walls are still standing, but like no one would want to live in the Eveningstar like manor.
No, but all sorts of scary creatures that go bump in the night. You got your Nalusafalayas, little shadow creatures that just kind of
Gesundheit?
like, I know, that's what we would say. And then they talk about the Lusafalayas, yes.
Lusafalayas.
And then they talk about the Kametachis, the rodent-looking creature with long, spindly legs.
Wait, what's a
Slice
Lucifalaya?
you open. Oh, it's a shadowy creature. Just kind of comes up behind you, hurts you, and then disappears just like that. You didn't even know it was there. Talk about giant skeletons. If you guys didn't know a little history about Eveningstar, it was a great goblin war that kind of left the city in a bad shape. And a lot of people starved. And they say that the bodies, without the proper burial, were just kind of like put away. And they formed this giant skeleton top thing that just a mass of all these bones that would just come out in the middle of the night. You wouldn't hear them except for the chattering of teeth. And if you came across the creature, it would cut your head clean off and then drink your blood.
I'm kind of curious to see what the bone degradation looks like after all these years. I mean, it must be in incredible shape.
I mean,
And then,
I would have said last week that this was poppycock and just stories to made up to scare children, but now that we've met mushrooms that take over the minds and hearts of men, a little bit easier to believe these stories.
What's Arv's
I still-
passive perception?
Arvs?
Mm-hmm.
Let me pull up
Less than
his
a
character
14.
sheet. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, I think it's like an 11.
So while Sammy's doing this, I've snuck up behind
I
Arv.
lied. Passive perception of 14.
Shit.
Clonk, 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 clonk.
I go up behind him and I say, Lucifer liar.
You go up behind Arv or Sammy?
Yeah.
Of Arv. Okay. He's still, even though he was told in Knightswood that he needed to kind of push down those feelings, suck it up, be a man, take charge, lead this camp and company, and he's still skittish at heart, and he still kind of jumps anyways, even though he like kind of sensed
Totally
you
saw you
coming.
coming.
Yeah, he kind of sensed you coming, and then you coming up. Like there's still the element of surprise of what you were gonna do. Kind of scared him a little bit.
And of course, there's the Ginanikis. I can't remember the name of them, but
Oh, that sounds like a fancy drink.
Sounds like an exotic dancer
but
or dance routine.
because this hall has been populated by so many different bandits all the time, they died, and their greedy souls linger in the heart of this keep. There's got to be something in there. But
Hey.
you're
Probably
14, you're
bodies and
12.
Bones, maybe?
Well, you get to the outskirts and you see a rusted sword or a battered shield, and you're like, I wonder what else is in there.
Hey, didn't that elf
I wouldn't.
at
Oh, you were
where
a
we
single
got our
child.
gigs? Isn't that where he found that poison dagger?
DM?
Did I say that?
Sounds similar. I'm pretty sure he said he was somewhere around Eveningstar.
Let
As
me
an adventurer
scroll
back in
back
the
to notes. That
It was like
sounds
session 2,
that
so.
sounds like something that I would have said. Sergeant Darian Steelheart.
I remember
Okay.
asking where he found
Deep
it.
dig there, Joseph. Deep dig.
I came ready.
Given that character memory and player memory kind of mesh here, you can think or be convicted, like really believe that.
Yeah, it might have been like some tomb or something like that, but now I'm sure that's where he got the dagger.
Yeah. It
Hey,
is.
there could be more of those there.
It is widely known as a place that adventurers go seeking fame and fortune. It is also widely known that those that go in, more often than not, don't come out. And those that do, they're a little changed. Not like changed as in like growing scales or, things like that, but like mentally.
Matters of the heart,
Yes.
traumatic.
Yeah. Retire from adventuring. They've seen enough shit for their lifetime.
But all that is just stories. There are bandits in the land, and you still got to be careful when you're wandering about. There's rumors that a couple of them might hole up in the place from time to time, out of the sight of the purple dragons, out of the sight of the proper authorities over there. They can rest and regroup. But I think we're a little more seasoned than just your regular bandit. Especially you, Mr. Herc. Well, I believe you can suplex just about any single one of them that were in the old haunted halls.
Yeah.
They might even talk about you in those haunted halls. Another story of Herc the Hurricane coming through the haunted halls and having his way with all sorts of things.
I've never wrestled a shadow.
Wouldn't you like to have that story told?
Of course. Let's go there.
Rin pipes up. I really don't think that we should be taking detours for these unnecessary adventures.
Well, it is a little bit north of the city, and we do have to keep going north. So look at less as a detour and more as a stop along the way.
And maybe we could find something like that dagger that could be really useful in the desert. Maybe there's a magical pot that could cook up all sorts of delicious food. That we wouldn't have to stop for camp. We could just keep going and eat it. Or a special boat that could go upstream. We'll have to look at to see what rumors of loot there are in the town.
Arsis, what do you think? Don't you? Couldn't you find us a way through the mountains if you needed to? Do you think we should be
could
taking this
definitely
extra stop?
survive. I already suggested we skip Eveningstar, but I think I was on the road. I know that Arv had some questions about the weather. I mean, mountains aren't my home terrain, but I believe that I could safely get us across.
Again, I need to repeat that I do need time to look over the map, so no matter what, I am stopping. If you guys want to scout out whatever, just don't die. I need
How long
you
do you think you're gonna need, Arv?
at least until morning, and if the rain doesn't clear up, maybe longer. I hope not longer. Absolute max 2 days. If I don't know anything by the first day, I'll probably end up reaching back out to Suzail and seeing if someone can't.
So, I mean, if we're stuck in town for 2 days anyways, or just in case, what's the harm in looking into Sammy's ghost story?
I will speak from a historian standpoint. Not all of them are just ghost stories. Some of them do have validity. There have been
true.
I mean, are you telling me that the Nalusaphalaya is actually a real thing?
Or the Ichikanichis?
Or the gin and tonic.
That's what
I think
said.
you were trying to say Kamitachi. And I still don't know what that other one is, but that sounds pretty close to it.
The Kamitachi, those are the rats, right?
The rodent thing with long spindly legs, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really, really sorry. Hold on. I need a moment.
You broke him. You broke John. I love it.
Yes! Ghost Stories broke John!
They were very wild indeed.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Like, you had me scrambling in Google, trying to Google these names. Like, what the fuck are these things? Do
They're
I
not
not
real,
know
are
this
they?
monster? I couldn't find anything.
Not D&D monsters, I will tell you that right now.
Yeah, like, I was like, Lucifalia, how do I even fucking spell that? Is that one word? Is there a hyphen in there? Yeah, and then just as he kept rattling off more and more, I'm like, where the fuck is he pulling these from? Please, God, I don't know.
Right out of my hands.
Was it 100 hands of this damn fuck?
That's one of the most terrifying things about it. You can't spell it. The only way you hear about it is word of mouth.
Oh shit, that was a good time. That was great. I loved it.
What was the original question?
So some of the stories are true.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Arv apparently believes.
Those creatures, I've never read about them in books. It wouldn't surprise me if there were other creatures that did match those descriptions inside of the halls. There was one
Arv?
time where there was men of magic that stayed there that actually used the magic to draw in other magical beasts to protect it. This was...
Arv. We
Yeah.
saw a man turn into a mushroom and try to kill us. We also saw a man summon a demon bird that tried to kill us.
I understand. Just be wary that this place is known as a mage slayer. They have traps and things galore. It was designed to keep people out.
So we should be
Oh.
fine as long as we're not mages?
I
Maybe
think
you-
that's a
you
win
only-
on our part right there.
All right. Just please don't die. I need you all to accompany me and
You have
to
to
the desert.
understand, Arv, walking through this forest, we're at risk. At any moment, we could be
Oh.
attacked by a wild animal.
Yeah. Yeah,
Bears
that's
and
a good point.
wolves.
We could be walking right up to the relic we're after, and the floor could fall out beneath us, and we could all land on spikes. And it wouldn't make a difference if we died to the Luciferias or to the spikes, right?
4 fat raccoons, as you're saying, you could be rushed up on at any moment, come like bustling out of a nearby bush, hearing Herc start to like raise his voice, and that you can turn
Samuel
and
will
see
take
them.
out his bow. Can he take a shot at one of them?
Yeah, if you'd like to.
I think that
Would
both
like to
Rin and Arsis would probably not be startled, but the rest of them would be.
Yeah,
Goblins.
No, those are raccoons.
Oh shit, wrong one.
you hit.
Oh fuck, what did I...
The short bow.
I throw my short bow at it. I have proficiency. Hold on, I hit the wrong one.
Clearly.
Why is my shit? Why can't I?
Forget how D&D Beyond works already?
Oh wait, it.
First, you go to the page that says
No, I'm on my page. Hold on,
actions.
wait.
on actions, and then you push the number, not the word.
Well, I don't have.
Where's your actions?
Yeah, I'm in my actions right now.
Oh, it's definitely.
Oh,
not working.
see, there you go. I'll be waiting for your apology now.
I mean, you still did it wrong, I'm sure.
Oh wow,
but
no,
yeah.
I see it. Fucking
D&D is
D&D
broken.
Beyond is broken right now.
Changed.
Wait, hold on.
I wonder if
No, I'm good.
what
supposed to
the
try on my
hell?
stealth check.
That is very
That's
wild.
so weird. What the hell
Um,
happened here? Hold on.
I wonder if
Well,
it has something to do with Beyond 20. I wonder if
I know, I'm looking at it. I don't see it in there. Any settings or options.
Beyond 20 update.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's when I click on a weapon, there's no option to attack. It just says display.
Wait, but Herc's got it. Unless it's the magical weapon.
Let me try. Spell attack still works.
Just roll twice.
Hmm.
Here,
Yeah, it's
what
very
is going
wild.
on here?
That's me clicking in your thing if you didn't know.
It just says display. That is so fucking weird. What is going on here?
Yeah, I'm having the same issue.
Looks like it's just like a weapons thing.
Yeah.
And Herc's works because Hugh is
I can press the
magic
plus
item.
1
Oh,
20 thing in the description.
okay. Yeah, unfortunately, I guess we'll have to roll our attacks
I see where you pushed it to make it work, but it's not.
Fashion. Yeah, but it doesn't. It doesn't. It also doesn't take in your
Proficiency.
dex.
No.
Yeah.
15 to hit the raccoon.
Yeah, you hit
Wow.
the
Dean
fat
was broken,
coon.
guys. What the fuck?
Yay!
Hey, we got a
Still
raccoon.
have our minds and our imagination.
You can still it rolls your. Okay, all right. I'll get out of your thing now, but I wanted to make sure that it would roll. Like the
Because my
perceptions and
insight
stuff.
check rolled better earlier, or rolled
Yeah.
fine earlier.
Yeah,
Luckily,
it's just the weapon attacks.
yeah, interesting. Okay, cool. 15. Yeah, you skewer this fat raccoon, and it is screaming for its little life. The other three still scurry off. Then eventually, it succumbs to its wounds.
7 points of damage to it. Is it still screaming?
It's its death throes, like just.
Got it.
You just shot it again. It was already dead.
And then, yeah.
That's the kind of risk that we are taking, dealing with those. Those are real things.
Raccoons.
Yes, the raccoons. Look, the Nasula Falaya, it's not real, alright? Kamitachi, not real. Giant skeleton and the everything else, not real. The only thing we gotta worry about is the bandits.
I was kind of hoping the giant skeleton would be real, but
It's possible that it is. I've seen necromancers or heard or read tales of them being able to do some disturbing but rather remarkable things with bones and creating constructs of sorts. So don't rule that one out. With enough chatter and enough hours, you eventually reach the edge of Eveningstar. The first thing that you notice as you're venturing north is you start to hear the flowing of river. And eventually, as you're walking, the river kind of encroaches in on the woods a little bit, and you come to a clearing where you can see flickers of orange-yellow lights in the distance. The town of Monroe, still probably about a half mile away, but small trails, houses start to come into view. It's a little past evening, getting into nighttime territory, probably around 8:30, 9 o'clock. Past supper, but still enough time for the taverns or inns to be open and alive, with patrons that are either finished with work for the day, enjoying a drink, or merchants that have finished selling their wares or passing through. It's a good stop between Suzale and Arabelle. So, Sammy, the rest of the group, where have you settled on trying to make your first stop?
A golden unicorn.
Say, if we're settling on the golden unicorn, it's gonna cost a little bit of coin to
Settling.
But there are a couple other places. Perhaps we start off at and see what's going on over at the Hailing Hand Inn, or the what's the other one? The Lonesome Tankard.
Oh my. I'll
Honestly,
be at the golden unicorn. You can check those places out. If
anything works with me. I just kind of want to get out of this rain.
Mm-hmm.
It is still pouring down.
Wouldn't the best way to do that be at the golden unicorn? Hey, Riker?
I don't know, Sammy. Is that like the closest one?
It is the closest one. Sammy, you would know, however, that coming into the Golden Unicorn dirty would be extremely frowned upon. The people from your town don't go there after a day of work, or directly after a day of work. They would go home, bathe,
Kind of
get
like
dressed.
their vacation spot,
Yeah.
so to speak. So.
Yeah, they would. You coming in as fresh travelers, you would want to stop somewhere else and tidy up before you went. You could try to persuade your way in with gold. You know that pretty much anybody could be bought, but it would be very difficult to convince the proprietor of that establishment to allow a bunch of dirty, stinky adventurers to come in, sopping wet from the rain, and sit on our velvet chairs.
All I'm gonna say is, let's just make a stop somewhere else, get changed, freshen up a little bit, because at the end of the day, if I have to do a little less convincing about something else other than, hey, let our stinky asses into this place, I think that would be in our best interest.
Isn't it an inn? Isn't that their whole purpose, to take in travelers and help us get refreshed and nice and
It's a
clean?
little bit more of like the premier location of this town.
Like
No,
a spa.
Yeah, have you ever been to a restaurant where they kind of frown upon you not wearing your shoes? Well, it's kind of like
Most establishments.
this is kind of like that, except they want you to wear your shoes and your Sunday best, perhaps. Not coming in smelling like a hobo fresh off the street on a 2-week bender.
You'll see that Arsis at that moment will sniff herself.
And I'm saying that they should be ready for people with coin to help them. We're travelers on the road.
They're ready to take your coin, for sure. I think we'd be better spent using our coin for other things other than just, hey, we stink, let us in. Here's a couple of gold pieces.
How about, hey, we stink, we have coin, help us not stink? They're not into that. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, I just don't know what the price is going to be for us stinky folk.
You're more than welcome to try.
that.
I'm not saying that it's off limits.
You know, maybe eventually we go to the Golden Unicorn, but I think right now we just find a place that will let us in without, judgment.
Where are we on this map, DM?
I
know you said that we are close to the Golden Unicorn.
The Golden Unicorn is number 19, which is the furthest south.
I see it.
The next closest would be number 2, the Lonesome Tankard. But that's not too far off from the Hailing Hand Inn, which is basically just the next, like 2 buildings down from the east, right before you cross over the Starwater River Bridge. So, again,
Look,
all 3 of them
just
are
saying
perfectly
that-
viable
All right,
options.
you're from here, Sammy. Take charge, whatever. Let's go to the Lonely Tankard.
All I'm saying right now is maybe we consider the Hailing Hand Inn. You might be pleasantly impressed with some of the sights in there.
Oh.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a nice place.
Well, all right then. I guess if it has a shit name, it's fine. We can. Sorry, pardon me. Not too taken by the name, but yeah, let's go there. Good place. Not too snooty. We'll all feel comfortable there.
we could just stop in. And we're walking towards the direction of the hailing hand. We could just walk in. Hey, we need to borrow a room for about an hour or so. We just need to freshen up, and then we'll be on our way. That's it.
No. I think we should stay there. If you say it's nice, it's got cool stuff in it, that's the place for me.
Yeah, cool stuff. That's what I said. Yes. Just going forward still.
Alrighty. Making your way through the town, there are several people that are basically cloaked, hooded up, walking with their lanterns through the street. You can still even see several purple dragon knights.
Any odd looks from Ardu or for Ardu?
I keep forgetting you have that thing out and about.
Thing.
Can't put it
Excuse you,
away.
sir.
It either dies and I resummon it, or it's out. Those are the choices.
Yeah.
I probably put like a cloak over it a little bit, try to make it look like a dog, and keep my hand on it. We'll do that. How's
You
that?
definitely could. There are dogs in the town. But given, I'll segue with this. As you're walking further into the town, Arsis and Rin definitely notice, but eventually the entirety of the group notices. But Arsis and Rin catch a glimpse of a shadow scurrying across the top of a nearby roof of a house, and kind of with the Lucifer, and
What have I done?
this creature jumps off, and you can see a brief silhouette of a cat jumping, a couple stories high, and then a cat. I know,
I was making fun of Herc.
Oh,
It's fine. In character.
but as it's falling, feathery wings just sprawl from the cat, and it glides down to the ground before closing them back up again and trotting on the same street away from you. So this town is not averse to magical creatures, so it probably wouldn't.
And would we have any knowledge of a Tressum, or? It's one of my favorite D&D monsters.
Okay. They're... yeah, people
Probably
in
Riker?
people in Cormyr would probably know about them. Given that this is, at least in Cormyr, this is one of the only spots to obtain one, or not that you would be, hunting them, but poaching them is extremely illegal. Yeah, you guys could probably all know of a Tressum if you would like to.
That cat had wings. That's a little unusual.
Well, one of those.
Oh yeah, Tressums. Yeah.
That's a good omen for us. Look, see, Herc, we're doing the right thing. If we not come this way to the Hailing Hand,
actually, I think
we wouldn't have good luck on our way.
It's a good thing you didn't shoot it.
I'm in the city now, so not exactly just gonna shoot anything that just kind of jumps up out at us, unless it really does intend. Right? Well, if in the woods, you never know.
I will need to know, have you all remembered to tie your weapons? Or have you been playing loosey-goosey with the fact that you have a letter from... Okay. Okay.
I mean, I haven't said I tied my weapon, so unless I say it, I probably haven't.
Okay, and that's fine. You guys do have a paper that says you...
If someone stops us, yeah.
Yeah. But as you're traveling through, people do kind of see Ardu, and while they might steer to the far side of the street, nobody outright runs or makes a stink about it.
Magical
given
town.
yeah,
It's a dog that's been glamored. It's fine.
true. As you get closer to the center of the town, closer to the barracks and the Eveningstar Hall, right there at that T intersection before you would take a right heading to the Hailing Hand, you see a guard standing in front of the hall, a tall woman. And as she sees the group of you, she shouts, "Hey, don't you know that you're not supposed to have adventuring parties greater than 5 while being armed? Come here, all of you." There's 6.
Yeah, Arv.
Do you comply with her requests? Arv is
Riker
walking
would,
over
yeah.
in that direction immediately.
Yeah.
Would I know who this person
This is Hilda.
And okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
Alright.
you can tell by her armor.
Wait, Mr. Sammy, is that actually a rule around here? That seems odd.
Sammy's slinking towards the back right now.
We in trouble?
Arv, let me handle this. I can explain my way around. Excuse me, sorry. We are more than just mere adventurers. I don't care for any sort of explanation that you have. These are the laws. No, I'm sorry. Listen, I am from Suzeo. I am Arvindhast. I am relative to the royal magician Ganrahast.
Yeah.
And we are on important business for the crown. Please understand.
For the crown.
I need to make a insight check.
You know what? I think Arsis is going to kind of keep walking towards the inn at this point.
Okay. If you continue to keep walking towards the direction that Sammy would have pointed that the inn was located, she is going to yell after you. Stop right there! Don't go any further! Don't make me use force!
Us, get back here, please.
What is going on? I told you, every time we deal with people, bad things happen.
You are under investigation for being an adventuring party greater than 5 while having weapons on in town, especially being that they are untied. I should confiscate every single one of these weapons.
Oh, yeah? Maybe you want to confiscate our special paper that explains that we're allowed to have our weapons untied. And then, ooh, you'll feel like a fool then, won't you?
It would stop at this point. Just so you know, I'm not continuing at that point.
Okay, because she would have ran and tackled you.
Yeah. No, it's I understand. I'm reading the situation. It's all good. I'm still like annoyed. But
She holds up her lantern, other hand on the hilt of her long sword at her side. Present the papers, or I will begin the confiscation process.
What process?
Mr. Herc,
I
really
think I have the paper. Right?
Mr. Herc, I wouldn't.
either you or Arv.
I wouldn't instigate anything, Mr. Herc.
Yeah, Hark, let's
This
just
is ridiculous.
I mean,
Hark, just please take a moment, and
Supposed to be a
I'll.
group of less than 5, and
Mr. Herc, I
Process is
completely
going
agree
on.
with you, but I don't think now is the time.
I'll
That's
pull
right.
the paper out of my bag and I'll hand it to her. At this point, I have my my shirt pulled up, so if she's familiar with me, she can't
A
see my
harder
face.
time recognizing. See your eyes though.
Give me a stealth roll with advantage. With the advantage comes from it's raining, it's dark, there's multiples of you. Okay. Against her passive
roll.
perception, you would succeed, so she would not recognize you. But as she's unfurling the paper and kind of reading it, and you can see the drops of water getting it wet, she quickly rolls it back up. Do you understand why we have these rules in place?
No,
You-
I don't.
You citizens would cry if there was another insurrection and harmless citizens were murdered. Could
Does
you
that
imagine?
happen here often?
It happens in Cormyr sometimes. Especially here where there's bandits. There was a bandit lord that lived just
In the
north of
manor?
here.
Oh, because bandit
The
lords
keep.
are so good at keeping the laws.
And that's why we keep an eye on if they have their weapons tied or if there's a bunch of people with weapons in town that are congregating together. Gosh,
No, we're not. bandits.
citizens don't want to follow the rules. Hands back the paper.
Ma'am, does that mean we're good to go?
I am here to protect and serve.
That doesn't answer my question, ma'am.
You're free to go.
Thank
I
you,
would
ma'am.
still strongly advise that you tie your weapons.
I mean, she says we're free to go. Riker's going. He's
Yeah.
he's off into the tavern.
It's like, okay, enough of your power tripping. Have a nice night, lady.
Oy, 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 Alrighty, give me
I
one.
love Riker's staff. The couple lines that you've hit, they just hit so well.
He's just so straightforward. That's why I love playing him.
Apparently, you can't rapier without your rapier.
He throws his rapier at the guard.
Well, the little dice shows up, but that's it. So
That's so weird. Have you all tried refreshing D&D Beyond?
have
Let me see.
Don't do
I've
it.
also
You're the
tried
only one
working
that
with
you
Beyond
can.
20.
You're the only one that can roll things, right?
I can't roll my weapons, but I can roll my spells.
okay, that's what it is. I keep forgetting.
Yeah. But yeah,
Alrighty.
weapons, I still can't roll to attack those.
Alrighty, as you get close to the hailing hand, you can already hear the ruckus and the liveliness of the inside of this tavern. It is a two-story building just before the bridge that would be crossing the Starwater River. Exterior made of dark aged wood, kind of giving it a rustic look. Several windows on the front of the building allowing you to see people in there. Several tables kind of pushed off to the side as people are kind of dancing around and standing, drinking, clanking beers, having a very merry time inside. Yeah. As you walk in, you are immediately greeted by a extremely beautiful young woman, long, curly, red hair. I'll be right with y'all. Just have a seat wherever you want, please. Just. And then as she looks over, no weapons or magic inside. That's my only rule.
Where were we supposed to put them?
You can rent it in if you'd like, and you can store them there. But there's no weapons to be out here on the floor.
Miss R says, Riker opens up his bag of holding. I've got plenty of space.
I don't like it, but town seems to be on edge. Fine.
I'll probably
Put my
pipe up
bow in
from
there,
something
but
that
not arrows.
Okay.
that I've heard her say in the past.
Yeah.
So I know you don't tolerate us troublemakers, but a little bit of rowdiness is still fine in here, right?
As long as you're not fighting, I don't care what you do. And as I always say, if you're not here to have a good time and drink, what are you even here for? And Are you guys renting a room for the evening, or are you just here to celebrate something?
Both.
All right, talk to Lloyd back there behind the bar. He'll get you situated with a room for the night. If you need any drinks, just ask me, and I'll get you some right away. Feel free to have a seat wherever you'd like in here. Band will be playing for a little while. Have fun.
When you got a moment, a round of your fresh ale, and then that'll be good for us. Then I'll make my way towards a back table.
Tea for me, actually. Thank you.
I'll have his.
Alrighty, I'll bring him right over. And hold on, does everybody place their weapons inside of the bag of holding?
She say that as long as they're tied, they were fine, or just no weapons out?
Just
period?
no weapons out, period.
Got it. Then I will put my weapons in the bag.
Also, what are you doing with Ardu? She said no
Ardu's
magic.
Well, I'm risking it.
In the bag.
I'm not putting Ardu in the bag. He's staying with me. If they make
Tie him
me
up
do bad
outside or something.
I don't need to tie him up. We have a mental connection. He listens to everything I say, even though he's his own person. Now, like, I'll just let him. I'll treat him like a dog and like have him walk next to me. And if they don't stop me, then I'll just have him curl up at the bottom of the table.
Okay. Roll me a stealth check for Ardu, being underneath of the table. It is a bustling tavern. It's possible that they might just look at it as, you know, like the coats got piled up underneath of there so they wouldn't get yoinked or something.
Do you want me to use Ardu's stealth or my stealth?
We can say use Ardu's stealth.
Got a 13.
Okay. We'll leave that unknown for now.
Yeah. So I'll just once we settle down on the table, I'll just kind of tuck him under and be like, give him scraps or whatever.
Okay.
Not that he really needs, but.
Eventually she comes over back to the table, sees you all sitting down at like you found like a circular table off to the side that's kind of been pushed over. There's other tables and chairs that are just kind of like haphazardly shoved next to you that aren't really being used for seating because they've turned the center of the place into like a standing room only kind of dance and chatter, almost like a club type environment, but just kind of all socializing. But she comes back over with 6 mugs of ale, and she sets them all down on the table, and then kind of puts her hand on her hip. And so, what brings y'all in this evening? Are you here for business, pleasure, or I don't think I've seen you guys around here very often.
Probably some warm food if you got any.
We do have some warm food. We got some spiced lamb, some crusty bread, some pan-fried trout that we get fresh here from the Starwater River. And
Sounds delightful.
well, those are 2 separate things. Are you wanting both?
Yes.
Yes.
We also have potato and leek soup if you want something more warm. It is kind of chilly out there, especially with the rain.
That's up Rocker's alley there a little bit, is it not, sir?
I was just about to say, yeah, that's what I want.
Okie dokie, I'll have that right up. But y'all didn't tell me what you're here for.
Both.
Oh, we just got in town. We just got in
Just
town.
looking for a dry place to sit and some warm food, ma'am.
We're just passing through.
We're here for you and your excellent cooking.
Well, I don't do the cooking.
That's not how taverns work. She just serves the food. She doesn't make
I
the
know
food.
that. I meant the establishment as a whole. The Hailing Hand. We've heard so many great things. Not the hoity-toityness of the Golden Unicorn. That's not what.
Miss Rand, would you like trout or lamb or potato soup?
I'll probably have the soup. That seems like a safe option. All right. Well, I'll be ready, but y'all really should make sure you're having fun here, okay? Enjoy the liveliness of this tavern. That's what people come here for. Don't sit like bumps on a log. You'll kill the vibe. And she kind of wanders away. And it'll be a
Arsis
little
is
bit
deliberately in the darkest back part of the corner of the table too.
like
She's just like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to enter into the vibe.
pulling an Aragorn over in the corner, brooding with his little pipe.
Need a pipe, damn it.
Yeah.
Great. Come here exhausted. Great recommendation, Sammy. That's sarcasm, by the way. Didn't know that we're supposed to be so lively here. Exhausted.
Well, I don't know.
We just needed a spot to collect our thoughts for a minute, get cleaned up, and then we can find somewhere else. I didn't say we had to stay here, but I'd rather not again put all of our how do I want to say this? I don't want to put all of our gold into the effort of getting into a place.
I think it'll work.
And honestly, Arya's not that bad on the eyes now, isn't she?
She's like top 2% of most beautiful women that you've ever seen in Cormyr across everybody. Like,
I wouldn't say she was a Midwestern 5.
Top 2% is actually like a small. She's really pretty, is what he's actually saying.
yeah, that's what they. Yeah, she's
Wait, the person who
extremely
just served
gorgeous.
us?
Yes.
Yeah.
She
She's as pretty as you, Herc.
She honestly, she is the embodiment of Lady Firehair. She's got long, curly, red hair, like perfect
Bright
complexion.
blue eyes, and is just the most wonderful smile that you will ever see.
Great. You guys just made Arsis way more self-conscious. Thanks.
What's her name?
I mean, Herc was
Arya.
paying you
Arya.
compliments when he called you Lady Firehair when he was saving you at the top
but
of the
now
tree.
this woman is
Now it's the
10
new
times
Lady
prettier
Fi-
than I am, and I've got red hair and blue
Yep.
eyes. So,
Move
you know,
over,
it's just
Arsis. There's a new Firehair in town.
I'm a cow. She's, a goddess. Okay, this is fine. Whatever. Not that she's trying
she's
to
got-
impress anybody, but still, it's just like,
Not
what?
at all. But she's also got those lovely golden hoops in her in her ears. It's a little excessive, mind you, but
Yes.
She wouldn't express any of this. You guys wouldn't know that she's feeling really out of her depth.
Yeah, super dangly
there
golden
quietly.
earrings. They like touch her shoulders. They're so huge.
And you
Yeah,
left
Riker
this
doesn't
place
care. He's just
behind?
kind of taking in the whole scene.
Is she
I'm
taken?
sure there's a
Is
pretty
that
boy
what-
in here somewhere for you.
Probably.
well, I
Roll for
don't
pretty
know if
boy,
she's
John.
taken, but she's been lusted over a lot, so.
I bet.
Does Rin get all flustered when she comes near us? Flustered.
That's a
What
good
you
question.
actually see is as you all sat down and shortly after she ordered, she pulls out a notebook. And you can kind of see her making some last minute chicken scratch and like biting on her quill a little bit and scrawling again. If anybody wanted to be interested in what she was actually doing, I'd need you to roll like a perception check or like bypass the perception and just get like hella nosy and just like stick your head into what she was doing.
Nah, right. Riker's not one to scry.
I'm all about dropping eaves, so I'll kind of wrench my head over a little bit.
I'm peering too,
Okay.
but I'm doing it a little more subtly.
As you see her writing, you can actually, with a 25 perception, even kind of hear her humming a little bit and moving her mouth, reading the words kind of almost in a melodical fashion. She is looking
Can I have me a
over a song that she had been writing. Yeah, so she's buried into that. So
Miss Rin,
huh? Yeah.
planning on performing tonight? Maybe we get our room for free.
I don't know if it'd work like that, but... And she kind of closes her book. Before you all met me, I used to write music for my husband's band. I actually
Wait, you were married?
You got
Yeah.
married in prison?
It was after prison. I used to go to his shows, and I kind of caught his attention by writing lyrics, and in his little tip jar, I went up and I dropped some lyrics into his tip jar, along with a tip, of course.
That's so romantic.
But for 10 years, the only words and melodies that I ever wrote were for him. He was the first person to ever hear every line.
What band is it? Maybe we've heard of it.
I don't think I have, but maybe you all.
It was just him.
A one-man band?
Where's your husband now?
I don't know. He might be
Died.
traveling again.
Oh,
Maybe he's with his parents. I don't know where he's at. We haven't really kept contact.
but he's your
He
husband.
doesn't seem to care where you are. What's going on with you?
I mean, we're not married any longer.
I thought you could only be unmarried with death.
Well, a couple of years ago, his family had a tragedy, and I stopped writing to take care of it. I tried to let him shine, and somehow he just started to resent me. And just recently, as this last month, he left me. And I'm just now starting to find myself again and finding my voice and wanting to write. I've been working on
He
something
sounds like
new.
a right ass.
I'm gonna reach across the table and push one of the ales closer to her. Look, I know that Arya was very keen on us not killing the vibe in this place, but you sound like you're going through, well, you went through a little bit of a tough spot there. And well, I can speak for myself when I say I'm glad that you're here with us. And well, I pick up my mug of ale, and I hope you stick around a little bit longer, and we'll help you get through all of that pain.
Yeah. Maybe.
I don't want you all to feel sorry for me. That's not why I told you those things. I told you those things.
Like I want to kick your ex-husband in the ass.
I'm
Believe
with
me,
Miss
me too.
Arsis on that.
Well,
It's
Hang
less us
on,
feeling
hang on.
sorry for you and just want to see better for you.
if you both loved each other, maybe somebody cast a spell on him or something. Changed him. You were helping his family. How could he not appreciate that?
Hold on a second. She messaged me.
Well, we're getting live updates.
Trouble.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, Daddy's in trouble?
No, she told me to let her know before she was going to perform.
Okay. Cool.
Sorry, Herc, one more time because I got distracted. What did you say? I apologize. Did you get distracted too?
No, I just wasn't really thinking before I was speaking. Probably, I said maybe somebody put a spell on him. If he was
that's right.
If you were helping his family, then he should have been grateful for that, right?
He should have been, but something about him changed. Maybe it was another woman.
Or a spell.
That makes me want to hurt him a little bit more.
If it was a spell. or if it was another woman.
Well, it could have been a woman's spell. Or
It could
I've
have.
seen it all the time back in Monroe.
Wouldn't you want to
Married
fight the
men.
woman because she's the one that kind of stepped in on the thing?
But why? Like, he was the one that had the vows. He made the promises.
She
not
knew
her.
better.
Well, he knew better.
They both knew better. But it seems like the other party gets to walk away from this all scot clean.
I don't know. Maybe she got stuck with our. Rin's
It's not
ex-husband.
clean.
There's
Being the one, trust me. There's been a few times, oops, after a fight, oh, you're great. Oh, you're married? What? Uh-oh, you know. And
Wait,
it can get...
Mr. Rickett, can you run that by us again? I'm really confused.
I think I laid it down pretty simple. Sometimes after a fight, you get heated, you go out for a party, there's beautiful people around you. You hook up with someone. Find out later.
Oh, that's what you meant.
Then you get a knock on the door. Yeah.
Riker just kind of shrinks and just starts sipping his tea.
In the animal world, we don't make commitments.
Before you sip that, ugh.
I didn't feel responsible, Sammy, so I don't think we should hold this unless she cast a spell.
Oh,
Don't think we
right.
should hold it.
DM.
yeah.
He said, "It's not always clean," and then proceeded to talk about his conquest in bed, and I lost it.
Y'all. Sorry. Riker is going to heed Sammy's advice, and I'm going to cast Detect Poison and Disease using the purple Triton ring on my drink.
On your tea? Yeah.
Yeah.
As you cast Detect Poison and Disease, the area is free. It's clean.
Right.
You don't-
Riker will shrink once again and begin sipping his tea.
Nice.
Oh,
The band that was kind of playing is taking a 5, and you can see them kind of walk over to the bar, and as their instruments still kind of sit on the stage, they're taking sips up at the bar and talking with Arya for a little
Miss
bit.
Rin.
And Rin,
You know, she told us
go ahead.
not to kill the vibe. Now might be a good time.
And she slams her beer and she's like, well, I wrote something, and since this is the first time in years that I've wanted to write something, I'm going to share it with you, and I'm going to share it with everyone. And she walks up to the stage, and she go ahead.
Oh, I'm proficient in the horn.
Me too.
Wait, what kind of horn?
The horn.
The French kind.
Maybe. Yeah, French horns. That sounds like a great
Parlez-vous.
tool for somebody who lives in the woods.
Yeah.
Sacre bleu.
Yeah, Horn of Gondor.
You
Gotta learn.
just carry a French horn with you on your back wherever you go. I mean, who doesn't?
Okay, so you're proficient with the horn. Please.
I don't know the song she's gonna write, so I normally I would want to accompany her, but
Okay,
I don't know what's gonna happen.
good call.
Are you yanking one of the guys' horns?
So
I have my own horn, thank you. It's an animal.
I need you guys, whatever your volume was set at, you might want to turn it up to like 80, maybe a little bit more.
On Adobe?
Yeah, on AOD or whatever it is.
Okay.
Because the music mix is a little on the quieter end. So you might need to...
Thank you, Joseph.
Nice.
We needed that.
Yay! Bria's gonna sing!
But yeah, this is...
I wish she was here for this.
Yeah, I know. Well, I was messaging her because she told me to message her when I was gonna happen, or when it was gonna happen, so she might be able to join, but I don't know if she's able to.
Oh wait, so it's a recording, or she's gonna?
Mhm.
It's a recording.
Okay.
Yeah.
Once you speak its mother tongue, traded mind. Do not cut from the foul earth. Infection grows like a seed in spring. Roots take hold into a signet tree. Visions of a demon queen. Her whispers come in 1, 2, 3. Accident, this cannot be. A cult built on false prophecies. Pink fungus bottled as a miracle. The emissaries come to steal your soul. The bane, the name that claims to be balance. If it can't be healed, torture to the ground. Persevere and fight to remain in light. If it can't be healed, torture to the ground. Persevere and fight to remain in light. If it can't be healed, torture to the ground. Scream into the night to remain in light.
Oh,
Oh,
no, pause.
oh.
Sorry. Yeah. And so
that was
as,
so good, though.
That's really
Um,
good.
That was so good, though.
let me
Wish he
hold
was
on.
here.
Oh, I know.
I can't find the actual tavern music again. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, torture
wish
to the
that my music
ground.
wasn't-
Um,
I just wish that it was a little louder. Shit.
I put
Mine
lyrics
was-
in
I turned
chat.
it up. It was fine.
Yeah.
I had to turn
Yeah, to
all my
turn up
shit
the
all the way
iota.
up.
You have to right-click IOTA specifically.
I did. Yeah, I
Oh.
did.
Oh.
Did you have it up to like 200%?
I didn't get it until halfway through.
The lyrics.
Oh, maybe I could have gone a little
No, the
higher on the
volume.
iota then.
Oh. I will. Give me a moment because I had to put it on YouTube to like it's not public, it's unlisted. But I can anybody with a link can actually go back and look at the video. So I will put
Did you do a
that.
music video?
No.
Or is it? Oh, on the. Okay.
Yes. I put it up there so I could play it in here.
Yeah.
Options, get shareable link, Cormyr adventure.
Oh, okay. Wait, fungus song.
And then everyone did get the fungus song lyrics, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so if you ever wanted to listen to that again with the accompanying lyrics in case you couldn't hear, there it is. And as she finishes playing, a lot of the tavern is kind of looking over in her direction. The lyrics a little ominous. Like even though the strumming was had a good melody and a little bit upbeat in singing, like there was that dark undertone when she kind of went into more of a speaking tone and talking about speaking the mother tongue. And Arya comes over as Rin returns back to the seat, and she kind of puts her hand on. What was that all about? I took advantage of the moment and I wanted to play something, but also it's kind of a bit of a warning even. There's
Yeah, torture to the ground.
Her.
Woo!
Thanks, Herc. I appreciate that. That means a lot.
Arsis is visibly like shaken by the song, by the lyrics, visibly.
Just with all the stuff that's happened lately, I felt compelled to write about it. The emissary, just everything.
You know, I don't write at all, but it makes sense. It's worth writing about. Glad that you did that. Somebody needs to write our story down.
Well, anyways, the reason why I came over here was because, and she slides a drink across to Rin, that gentleman up at the bar there, and you can see kind of just a ordinary looking fellow, dressed in normal clothes, nothing sinister about him. Just kind of waves a hand in her direction. He bought this for you for performing, and as you kind of sit around and watch, you eventually notice that that guy played in the band that was playing before, and kind of just a musician, respecting another musician situation.
Or
But-
a repeat of her tragic backstory.
Ooh, potentially a repeat of the tragic backstory. I'll let her decide that one. You are free to continue in. Arya comes back by. Have y'all settled on a room?
Yeah. Can we? Yes, please. How much for a room? And who do I talk to again?
Lord in the back.
Lloyd up at the bar.
All right, and she'll get up and kind of push past her and go and purchase a room.
Hi there. What do you? How many rooms are you looking for?
Sure, why not? One for 6, please.
I don't have any rooms that are that big that can fit 6 people, unless you're sleeping on
6
top of
rooms.
each other, if you know what I'm saying.
6 rooms, or maybe 3 rooms, whatever you got.
I love Lloyd.
Best I can do is 2, and he just kind of leans over and spits into a little pewter mug that's sitting on his desk.
How much?
Yeah, just being kind of like, he's a very slender man with like a big old pot belly, and he just kind of places his hands on his belly and pats it. It'll be about 2 silver pieces.
That seems fair. And I'll pass him over 20
And he
copper.
kind of reaches back behind him, leaning back on his wooden stool a little bit too far, and grabs 2 keys off of the pegboard, slides them across. Luckily, they're right next to each other at the end of the hall when you go upstairs. And he picks a little something out of his teeth. If you need anything.
Oh,
And he
yeah,
gives a
at
little
this point-
wink, and I help you out.
she's already turned to go back. She'll go back. She'll drop the other key on the table. 2 rooms is all they got. Here you guys go. She'll head upstairs to the other room with Ardu in tow.
John, did
What about
Lloyd have
that?
buck teeth? I imagined him with buck teeth.
Lloyd was missing the majority of his teeth.
Yes, even better.
Yeah.
Gum and everything.
Yeah, it was specifically the tooth like that he's missing is the one that he likes to like suck on.
Mm-hmm.
Food gets caught up in the gum, you know? Got to keep it
No.
clean.
Oh, those dry sockets, dude. You gotta
Hot.
be careful.
Anyways, yeah, so Arsis basically goes upstairs. She's assuming that eventually Ren will join her, but he's not making overtures anyway. Kind of. out
Knowing
of there.
that, knowing these rooms, probably been in here once or twice.
Yeah.
Maybe with Dad or somebody else. Do they have their own plumbing in this place, or is it like buckets of water into a tub and that's how you freshen up?
Yeah, this is definitely a buckets of water into a tub, but it's not
Cost
the
extra
tub.
to have a bath.
The tub isn't in your room. It's a separate room, like a washroom
Oh,
basically that has
A communal
a
shower,
communal-
like college all over again.
yeah, like massive troughs. You have to bring up your own bucket and like you wash yourself over the top of the trough.
You would have had special plumbing if we'd gone to the other.
You absolutely
yeah.
would have.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
I'm out. for the
well,
night. Arsis,
Are you gonna wash up?
no,
Because you'd need to talk to Lloyd again if you were.
they can do that. I'm done.
Okay.
Arsis is
Wait,
hiding in a
so
room.
the bath situation was what again? It was
All right, so you go upstairs and there's rooms for the majority of the upper floor, but there is one room that doesn't have a door that you walk in, and there's just a couple like wash basins that you get fresh water and a cloth from downstairs. You bring it up, you wash yourself, dump the rest of your water into the bucket, and then they change that water each day.
Okay. It seems all right.
healthy.
I could probably make do with it with my supplies.
Yeah, I think at that point, Sammy's gonna get up and knock back the beer right quick, and then head back to Lloyd and get his bucket and his washcloth.
I'll join you.
As you come
Riker,
up,
you coming with?
Riker just he finishes. He's like, "Wait, I thought someone was gonna finish the deal." Yeah, okay, yeah, I'll come with.
I'll finish it for you.
and he Lloyd looks across the bar, leaning with his hand still resting firmly atop his belly. What can I do for you? You interested in a room?
Bath club.
Well, we need a couple of buckets and a couple of cloths. Need to clean up a little bit before the boys head off and enjoy our night.
War council.
Are you guys wanting warm water or cold?
Warm water would be preferred, and if you have soap here, that would be nice as well. But I know that,
Well, you see, the thing about that is that's gonna cost you a little extra.
I've got my own.
You got your own warm water? You pulling it
My
out
own
of somewhere?
soap.
Sir, how much extra will it be?
That depends on how warm you really want it.
What soap?
Is there like a menu I can look at so I know how much we're going to be charged for this?
just give us 3 buckets of warm, not hot water, and 2 bars of soap and a cloth, please.
I 3 cloths, 1 for each of us, actually.
4. Arv?
You can see him like lean forward and kind of look at a worn out spot where it seems like enough people have gotten fed up that as they slam their coins into the wood countertop, that it's worn a tiny little circular path of where it hits versus where he slides it across. And he just kind of looks at it and looks up at you. My back kind of hurts. I don't know if I want to go get the warm water. Unless...
We'll get the warm water.
Well, that's the thing
I can
about
get
this
it.
place. You can't necessarily come behind the bar. That's for employees only.
But if your back hurts, you need to get that looked into.
Well,
was
the only
Lloyd.
way I can really get that looked into is if I could just happen to afford to go to the local medicine man.
No, you don't need to go see the medicine man. You just need to stretch more often.
That might be, but you know what would really help me stretch? And he reaches his hand out as he's kind of looking
I shake
at his hand.
I go out and I shake his hand.
He
Can
comes
I try
back
to crack
with
his back?
he comes back. He gets up from the chair, standing upright, walks back, eventually grabs 3 buckets of room temperature water, a singular bar of soap that looks like it's on its last leg, like they've fused a couple bars of soap together and rubbed them to and a couple skeptically clean towels. All right, off with you then, if you're gonna be bathing and such.
Is Arv
All
coming
right,
with us?
thank you, sir.
Yeah, Arv comes up that way, but he's
Put
not gonna
2
bathe.
silvers on the counter, not in the spot where he usually expects it, and I will set it down gently as well as to not create a new divot, and I'll just leave it right there.
Okay. It takes him a minute to notice because he is fucking eyeballing the shit out of you guys as you're walking away, and if you look at him before you go up the stairs, you can see him just spitting into his mug all angry like. Arv says, I'm just gonna retire to the room. I can clean myself in there. Magic and things. I could have cleaned you guys too. I didn't think
Oh,
about
that's
suggesting
right.
that when you were talking
Oh,
about the
I
golden.
think it's more comfortable this way, personally.
Some people
that's
prefer
true,
it.
right?
It's
'Cause
more
there's something
soothing.
about the ritual, yes.
Yeah. But anyways, he retires to the room. Do you all go directly to the washroom?
Or council it is.
Yeah.
Almost like as we're kind of like getting away from the guy we got this from,
Yeah.
just far enough away to where he can like just make it out. Riker says, by the way, sir, tobacco's really bad for you. You might end up losing a bit of your jaw if you keep it up. Bye. And then he goes up to go bathe.
Nice. Okay, as you get into this communal washroom, there is a curtain that takes place of where the door would be. That would afford you some privacy in seeing the curtains open now, but seeing it closed would give you the indication that potentially that it was in use, and people would tend to honor that unless they were really nosy or really dirty and wanting to wash. Is there anything specific you all do or any conversations to be had during this particular segment?
Just gossip on my end.
Much. I'd probably ask Kirk about what he thought about Arya. Keep my clothes as far away from the doorway as possible. And I would probably tell them to do the same thing as well.
Oh, because of the yeah.
A few.
Arya?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
Physically, gorgeous, but Lady Firehair teaches us it's more than what's on the outside. And I wasn't too impressed with her vibe, so to speak.
Wow, what was wrong
killing
with
the
her?
vibe. No, she came up and said, she told us that we were killing the vibe. She didn't try to help us get into it at all. She was just judgmental. No, not very cool.
Oh, fair enough, but
Maybe she's having a rough day, but that's all I can say. It just didn't.
busy place
wasn't that
down there
impressed.
right now. Like, have a drink and kind of let your hair down a little bit.
Yeah.
A few moments go by of your idle conversation, and eventually you can hear some grunting and some kind of out of breath, just. And eventually the curtain swings open, and you see Lloyd carrying 2 buckets, and you can see the steam kind of rising from the buckets. And he looks in. I'm really sorry to bother you, but Since one of you seemed to have a little change of heart, I thought I'd just drop these off, and here's some fresh towels. I wouldn't use those other cloths. They were my spitting rags. And he closes the door and walks away.
Thanks, Lloyd.
And you
I'm
now
never
have
gonna get that image out of my head. And he just kind of like takes the old towel and just like, trying not to like touch it, just like throws it to wherever he can.
Yeah, like any of you that might be curious or maybe even attempted to like wash the upper portion of your body with this towel probably would have found it to be a scent mixed between the like soap and tobacco. Like maybe he wiped up like his spit with it, like if he got a little dribble onto his chin. Anyways, as you were.
With that interruption by Lloyd, I think Sammy would probably just start undressing and just getting washed up at this point.
Okay. Let's go ahead and take a quick 5-minute break for me to use the restroom and grab another drink, and we will reconvene in 5.
Sounds good.
Bird.
Hi.
not tomorrow.
Okay. We
Okay,
reconvene.
anyways.
We reconvene with the three of you finish washing up and heading to your room. We will go back to Arsis, however. As you get into the room, you find that they are just super humble cots, like very fragile wood bed frame that clearly is decades old, been worn. You can see chips and splinters out of the bedposts. This is not a super nice inn, um, but it is a very lively tavern. Outside of that, the sheets and the bedding is clean.
All right. Well, I'm still gonna take my bedroll and curl up on the floor.
Okay. Um, Eventually, Rin comes in. She enjoys the atmosphere of the bar for just a little bit longer. Maybe even spends a little more time writing in her book, potentially taking inspiration from the other bands that were playing. Just listening to live music again is making her little heart happy. But she eventually,
When she comes in,
Yeah.
time skip, sorry. As she lays down and she gets comfortable and she starts to drift off, Arsis will be like, "Do you really think there's no saving them?"
well, if I didn't think that, I probably wouldn't be here with you all. I probably would have fled somewhere else, but if there's some hope, something that we can do, suppose I'm gonna try.
Next time, can you put that in your song?
Yeah. If you are you referring to my "if it can't be healed, torture to the ground"? Is that what's upsetting
Yeah.
you? I wasn't necessarily speaking so much about the people as the infestation itself, like the giant mushrooms that we found outside of Weymouth and inside the cave. But I could see
But
how
they've
it would be
infected the
interpreted
people.
that way.
I know I'm from a little tiny know-nothing podunk town, and I've wanted to leave for as long as I can remember. But I never wanted bad things to happen to the people.
I know, I don't want bad things to happen to good people either. I'll consider it for lyric of my next song. How much I'm gonna be writing specifically about fungus? I don't know. Maybe I'll write a song about you or the group or Herc or somebody.
Herc probably needs a song. He feels like the type.
I just write about whatever inspiration hits me in the moment, and with all this emissary of balance and fungus, just came to me, I suppose.
Well, I'm gonna save him.
We're gonna try. Do everything we can. And as you're having this conversation, and you specifically laying on the ground, you can still feel the vibration and like kind of the thumping coming up through the ground, and the slight noise of the tavern still being lively underneath of you.
Yeah.
But
I just don't imagine ours is gonna get good sleep. Take her a long time to fall asleep, and a little bit of tossing and turning.
okay,
That's it for me.
alrighty. The three of you, including Arv. Anything, or are you just gonna retire for the evening?
So it's the 4 boys and the 2 girls, right?
At least that's the
We
way
have
you've
our
split it
due.
up right now.
Unless one of you slips into our room, yeah.
Whoa.
I gave you one key.
You can break in. No, I'm kidding. I do
I
not want to
lockpicked
be
the
goofy
door.
like that. I want to know what the girls are doing.
Yeah, let's go steal their pillow or
Your
something.
rooms are right next to each other.
Man, can't believe Rin was married. Is married. That's crazy. Have you ever been married, Sammy?
Well, no, I'm a little young for that right now, but I'm sure that if something comes along, we can have that discussion. Riker, how about you?
Oh, I'm definitely way too young to have been married.
Arv?
You want to get married?
Ah,
You ever had any girlfriends or
not girlfriends, no.
gnome friends?
Again, I didn't really have many friends growing up. I'm not. I wasn't like the other paladin trainees.
You were a paladin trainee?
I'm the son of the most famous paladin in Suzale, so I was, yeah.
I didn't realize that. What was that like?
Hold
Bad.
on, if I may.
But
They didn't know that you were the son of Edwin Morahan?
not until recently, no. I don't go by my. Well, I don't go by the name he gave me.
And also, look at him. Does he
Thank-
look like Edwin Morahan to you?
Thank you, Mr. Herc.
Maybe in the
Arv, being a
job.
matter-of-fact person, probably just kind of like, yeah, understand. Sammy had asked Arv if he ever wanted kids. Probably not. Life of a student doesn't afford such shenanigans. Study and adventure, and rarely ever time to settle down until the oldest of years, when likely I'm going to be holed up in the Wizard's Tower, the Royal Magician's Tower.
Well, Ganrahast must have, at some point, you sounds like you're looking at a long life ahead of you. I'm sure there'll be some time before you have to enter the Wizard's Tower, as you put it.
I suppose I'm so busy and preoccupied with everything. I just don't have the time. I don't know if kids are really in my future.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I think that's good, because I think it'll pent up, you'll be so distracted, then all of a sudden, boom, there'll be an explosion of love. It'll smack you right in the gob when you least expect
I mean,
it. And I hope I'm there to see it when it happens.
I think I understand what he's saying, though. A relationship can just kind of get in the way of our work, or the work that we dedicate ourselves to.
Ah,
But
but Riker,
don't
what if
you
you
think-
find someone who's also dedicated to your work, and then you're working together? Maybe you both reach for a tool at the same time. Your hands touch, the sparks fly. That's
I don't know if you mean literally or metaphorically with the sparks, but I mean, maybe. But finding someone like that is difficult.
Have you tried?
It's never really come up. I've dedicated so much of my time to, well, my trinkets and inventions that I just never really thought twice about it.
Why don't you? Maybe you'll find someone in our travels who's also into trinkets and inventions. Maybe they'll have their own little spider, or maybe it's a butterfly, or who knows?
I mean, if it could
Would that be
fly, that would
exciting?
be really cool.
Yeah, if you found somebody who was into the same, crazy stuff that you are, that could be real cool for you. Have you ever thought about that? Friends that are like you, with the brains that work like you?
Riker's just like butterfly wings on the cannon. That would be nice. He's completely ignoring you, just thinking about like his cannon. Like, how would that
You
work
lost the boy
logistically?
there. I think
Sounds
you
like
lost
I've
him.
inspired him.
Look, fellas, the reason why I wanted to get washed up was because I wanted to get into the golden unicorn.
Careful with
Ow.
washed up. It stings sometimes when I hear that.
Not a washed up person, all right? Don't you worry about that.
Nah.
But you are mighty squeaky clean now, and I think that a reasonable person or even unreasonable person would allow us entrance into one golden unicorn.
I mean, but didn't we already pay for these rooms? Why would we go to the Golden Unicorn now?
Check it out.
Do you think Arsus would mind? We can pay her back.
We can leave her a little note. We can definitely pay her back.
For Riker, if you don't want to go, you can stay here and tell her where you went.
I mean, curiosity is kind of getting the best of me here. I'm just trying to justify going, I guess.
Do you have a do we have a window in the room?
Yeah, you're on the end. So there's a
And
window peeping
Is it
out.
still raining outside?
Yeah, it's raining pretty good.
And if you wanted to stay here to study your notes and everything, I would totally understand. But on the contrary, they might have much more comfortable seating arrangements over there. As I pat the cot, might make your thinking a little easier.
More thinking, less stinking.
I've trained a long time to be able to tune out things that I don't want to while I'm studying. I'll be just fine here.
Saying you don't have to invest so much energy in tuning things out. More time dedicated to your work.
One more thing. Since it's still raining outside, wouldn't we just get dirty on the way there again?
I'm sure we can find a way to walk around without getting covered in mud.
I
Use a
suppose so.
cloak.
Out from out from his
Gym bag,
robes.
maybe?
Yeah, out from his robes, he pulls a wand, and like as he's still looking down at maps and notes, he hands out the wand. It'll cast prestidigitation if you need to. It'll clean you up if you're interested. Please don't lose it. I don't
do
need
I-
it, but I keep it.
I want it. How do I use it?
It's not for you. It's for Riker.
Yeah, I think I would be the only one to know how to use it.
I can't do anything with it.
It requires a certain knowledge, finesse, whatever you want to call it.
All right. All right. So we going then?
You would be
Then,
able to cast from it, but yeah. Anyways,
you would just let the ladies know in case they came and knocking where we are at.
Oh, I've got you covered. Riker will flip on his mask and cast message to Arsis. The message he says is, Herc, Sammy, and I are going to the Golden Unicorn Inn. Just thought I would let you know.
Wow.
No response. Riker takes off the mask. He's like, okay, I think they should know.
At this point, is this before Rin has come upstairs? Is she still downstairs, or?
No, it would have probably been. We can even say towards the tail end of the conversation that you all had before anybody fully went to sleep.
Okay. She'll mumble, Miss Rain, if you're still awake, apparently the boys are going over to the other inn. If you would like to join them.
Well, what are you gonna do?
I kind of feel like being alone right now, actually.
So should I go?
I mean, I don't want to kick you out of your bed.
I mean, if
Probably
you want
hear
some,
us bumbling out the door right now.
if you want some alone time, I can give it to you. I don't know if they plan on staying over there, but if we do,
I can meet you over there in the morning.
Guys' night, bar crawl.
okay.
Walk outside.
And she rolls out of bed and quickly like pulls on her boots and
Oh, quickly.
pulls on her boots and scurries out the door.
John,
I think it's 100% something Rin would do.
Yeah.
Sounds right.
quick question for you, John.
Yeah.
So Riker's normal attire isn't anything to write home about, but I do have a disguise kit.
Okay.
Could I say that I had like, I don't know, dressier or fancier clothes in that disguise kit and put that on?
Yeah, you can do so.
Okay.
As you're looking around, like the people in the tavern, you probably get the sense that this isn't a super wealthy community. So the more important feature is just being clean versus necessarily being like decked to the nines in jewelry and, you know, fancy suit and attire type situation. So
Yeah, but he's not gonna know that.
No,
He's
right,
gonna go
right.
Fancy.
Yeah.
but yeah, so I mean,
But-
you can be as fancy as you want to with your disguise
Sammy
kit.
said that this is like, Sammy made it sound like that this is like a high-end place. So like Riker assumes he should dress high-end.
Okay.
Oh, and then one before we're leaving, Riker messages Arsa, says, "Hey, do you like want your bow? I got that with me still."
Oh yes, please.
I like knock on her door and just like, well, it's only us in the room. I take out the bow and give it to her, and then go back out.
All right.
Okay. Alrighty. Off you set into the night. As you are traveling westward towards the intersection that you would eventually head south to get towards the Golden Inn, you see a woman walking. The music doesn't fit, but I'm not going to change it. You see a woman walking forward. It's well into the night now, 10, 11 o'clock. It's getting, late for people to just be out, and she doesn't necessarily have a torch. How are you all? Are you just walking around, no torch? Are you casting some sort of light? I mean, it was relatively dark when you came in.
I've got
but...
the dancing lights around us.
Okay.
I would
Keeping it
say
going.
that we could probably pull the light out on the a purple dragon ring as well.
Oh wait, actually,
Just
that's
make-
probably better. Yeah.
Okay. Can you remind me all of your? I know Rin has a high passive perception. Sammy, what's your passive perception?
16.
16? Okay.
Correct.
As you're walking past the intersection where you previously saw Hilda, Hilda is still standing there, but now she is talking to a woman. And to you, Sammy, this voice sounds familiar. And you overhear the conversation. He left sometime last night, and I haven't seen him. They came by looking for money. He got in trouble again with money, gambling or something. And then him and Rex, they went to the haunted halls to try to get some coin or something, and I haven't seen him in a day. It is the voice of your mother.
It's the voice of your mother. What perception did we need to hear that?
At least a 12. In
Okay.
I mean, you're not going to know that it's Sammy's mother. but...
anybody outside of Sammy would have been able to overhear, or if you had a higher passive perception than 12, would have been able to overhear the conversation, but not necessarily the names wouldn't have meant, or the voices wouldn't have
Well,
meant
he said
anything
Rex. I was about to say, hey, Rex, that's the name of your brother. Hey, the haunted halls. That sounds like the manor you were talking about. But I didn't hear it because I have a passive perception of 9, so proceed.
Even better. Good. Because I'm going to hear that. And once I get past out of earshot,
Okay. You're at the tea. They're standing there having that conversation. The woman is weeping as she's telling the story, or your mother, and you turn south to head towards
I'm
the gold.
actually gonna keep going.
Keep going
down
west?
That, yes.
Okay. I mean, they don't know where the how to get to the golden
We went
unicorn.
past it, so
The golden unicorn?
we were in the general area of the. Oh no, we weren't
No,
in
you're
the
not.
area. Of
You're.
the, we're,
This is.
yeah.
So let me give
Yeah.
you a detailed. You were over at 17.
Correct. But we came up from over this area, right?
That
This
is
side
when
of the
you
river,
were-
or no?
That's when you originally came in.
Okay. Perfect,
And
okay.
the time that you met Hilda was when you were standing here at 1, which is where
Okay.
Eveningstar Hall is, where she normally keeps a watch, because
So
it's
I
a
never pointed out
crossroads.
where the golden unicorn was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just said that it was, on your way in. It was the first one that you would pass, which is right here.
So yeah, I'm gonna keep going west, and I'm gonna assume that they're still behind me.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know whether or
That-
not you guys would question the layout of
no,
the town or how to
absolutely.
get
I'm
there.
following Sammy.
And I probably get about 100 or so yards away from where Hilda and my mother were having the conversation, and I'd probably slow down, and stop, and then look back to see if they're still talking or if they've dispersed.
You could overhear Hilda saying something along the lines of, "Let me go double check and make sure that he's not in the jail or anything. Maybe he got into some trouble and I didn't know about it. I doubt they'd be stupid enough to go to the halls." And then eventually they kind of part and start walking towards your direction. You'd be past the intersection where they would turn and go towards the barracks where the jail is located. But you would see them walking towards you, and Hilda with a lantern kind of leading the way. Your house, for you wondering is out here in the western side of town, out past the church off map.
Got it. I'd probably. Oh shit. Riker.
Yeah.
Riker.
What?
I need you to. Send a message. You have to be close by. Shit.
Actually, let's see how close, because it's
120.
120 feet. Yeah.
You're not.
I think we're more than
yeah,
120.
You're further.
Oh,
than
okay.
that. You're probably like 600, 700 feet, maybe further.
We need to put a pin in the golden unicorn.
Sammy, what's wrong?
Is that some kind of tradition?
Yeah, is this a local thing? Does
I mean,
golden
if
unicorn
I'm
not even
underdressed,
exist?
I apologize.
No, it,
In the feather to the owlbear, or
we need to get Arceus. I need to get Arceus. I can't.
I don't think she wants to come with, though.
I'm not going to the golden unicorn.
What changed your mind?
That was my mother talking to Hilda. And God, I hope they didn't do anything stupid.
Say no more.
Fucking father.
Just tell us where you want us to go.
We need to get Arceus. We need to go to the halls. We need to go to the. I just have to make sure they're not there.
Right.
We need to get Arceus first.
Okay.
And yeah, let's. Can you guys get Arceus?
Yeah. Do you want anyone to come with you, though?
who's who?
Hilda's the guard that you were talking to. She's just the sheriff of this town. She's
The rude one.
Oh,
yes,
what's your mom gonna have to do with her?
my mom's freaking out. My brother, he's not home.
Look, I'll go grab Miss Arceus. The rest of you can go with Sammy.
Look, it's north of here. It's is it? Obviously, it's past the river, right? I just don't know how close it is to the river.
Well, so the river goes through the Stormhorns, okay? And as you would know from legend lore, the haunted halls of Eveningstar were owned by a bandit lord, Rivior, made by dwarves, inset into the side of the gorge that's carved through the mountain. So, like, it would be on the western side of the river. You're not going to be crossing the river, so you're already on the correct side. If that's what you're trying to ask.
Yes. Yeah. Close to the river. Okay. So then I would probably. All right. You follow the river north, and then when you get to the mountains,
Sammy, we can take a second to walk back to the tavern and get Arceus, and you can lead us there. We don't need to split up and make this unnecessarily complicated.
I'm faster on my own.
We don't want to get lost. It's dark. But if we don't follow the right direction, we're not from here. Please we'll let you do what you need to do, but let us at least just follow. Or we
Alright.
can wait by the barracks or something. We can do something, but I'm not gonna suggest wandering off into the woods trying to find this haunted halls when we don't know where this is at.
And you see Sammy take a second to collect himself. You're right. All right, let's go get Ossus. Let's go get Ossus, and then we can make our way to the haunted halls.
Alrighty, let's go. And
And I
off you head
immediately
towards...
begin running back to Hailing Inn, or the Hailing Hand Inn.
Yeah, okie dokie.
Like I'm doing everything, like action, movement, bonus action, dashing. Just I'm getting as far ahead of this as I possibly can. Like I'm probably leaving them behind with how quickly I'm just moving.
Okay. Eventually, you make it back to the tavern, and immediately storming in, you kind of draw the. Do you slow down as you're cutting through and going up to get?
Only if there's people in my way, but I quickly make my way up the stairs. And I get to Arceus's room, and I begin banging wildly on the door.
As you're banging wildly on the door, it eventually just kind of busts in a little bit. Not like breaks the door off the hinges, but the lock was not very sturdy. Like it had been worn away from, slammed. Anyways.
I think Arceus probably would have been up and like getting ready to open the door when that happened, because she has that super hearing and she wasn't asleep. So.
Sorry, I didn't mean to break open the door. There's been a change of plan.
Are you okay?
No, I'm not, and we need to go.
All right. I'll grab my bow. Follow you out. Go.
And I run down the stairs, probably looking at everybody looking at me, and I just stop for like the shortest of moment to see what's happening, and then I just going.
Follow you, no questions asked.
Okie dokie.
Ardu's coming around behind us. The blanket's falling off.
Yeah, the blanket's falling off, and you get a couple extra glances of the dragon in the tavern, and you might even hear Arya just make like an exclamation of, get that thing out of here type of situation. But yeah, no major trouble.
Okay.
And as we're leaving the tavern, I'll tell Arceus that my little brother and my stupid drunk father decided to try to hit up the haunted hall for some coin, and I think that's a bad idea.
Herc, I don't think we're gonna get into any combat tonight, but remember that you're level 5.
What?
We leveled up
Oh.
last session.
Oh yeah,
We
turns
did.
out.
Yeah, I thought I put it in the chat, but maybe I didn't, and I just now noticed because I was checking everybody's
Okay.
HP, looking at things.
Which means you get 2 chances to hit per turn.
And even more smite slots.
Or 3 if I just use my fists.
Anyways, all right, Sammy, what do you need me to do?
We just need, and you see him stutter again and collect himself. We need to go to the haunted halls. We just gotta get up there first, and then we gotta.
Is it far away? Do we go on foot? Should we get some horses or something?
How far away is it from here?
Probably about a 2-hour walk. An hour hour and a half sprint. Due
Hey,
to the
hey,
weather.
Sammy. Seems you're worked up and all, but maybe we should take this, slow down a bit, be more clear-headed. Now, I can see fine in the dark. Sounds like this place we're going to is bad business, but we got a team here we got to think about. Is speed the best way to go about this, or should we get some rest, go in the morning, get Arv with the wizarding in here?
I overheard
Arv,
his mother talking to Hilda. They've been missing already for a day.
yeah, Herc, if they're in danger, waiting's gonna make it worse. I say we
All
go
right.
fast.
Look,
Okay.
and with that, I'm just gonna keep going down the road.
Okay.
Um,
You going on
Obviously
foot, or are you
not
going to make
full
a stop
tilt.
at Roldo's and try
where
to?
the stables at?
They're number 2.
Section 5. Oh,
Or I'm sorry,
they're
5,
number
right
2?
across. No, 2's
Yeah.
the tankard.
Yeah.
5's the stables.
Stables are pretty close to us.
Yep.
Yes, I will try to go to the stables,
Alrighty.
and maybe somebody will be home whenever we come up to the door or to the building. Are there any lights on?
There's no lights on. But that's. I guess you would know that this late. Typically, there's nobody ever really manning the desk, but there's typically somebody out in the stables to catch those late night people. So what you would see is like a little glimmer of light kind of shining through the barn doors.
As I'm coming around, I'm shouting out, Galen, Bridget, Darian, where are you guys at? I need
The stable door kind of slides open, and it's Bridget, and she takes a glance back. What are you doing back here? I thought you were gone.
Yeah, long story.
What do you need at this hour?
I need your horses.
Are these your friends, or are they your good
Yep.
friends?
Ma'am, we don't have time for questions. How much for 6 horses?
And she looks
For
at you, Sammy,
couple
very adamantly, wanting to know, basically, are these your friends or are these your marks?
They're with me. They're my friends. Yes, they're with me.
I don't have this many horses.
Oh,
I can
How many do you
I
have?
have a horse.
I can lend you some, but you need to make sure that they're back by morning. They'll wonder where their horses have gone if they're not.
It's 11 o'clock at night right now.
Yeah, you'd have to just be back by like sunrise at like 6 a.m.
See Sammy doing some mental math at that point.
And
yeah, I think we could
She's
do that.
knowing you, and she's thinking to herself, like, this isn't something that she hasn't done before, and she starts like grabbing. She has 2 of her own, but the other 3 are going to be, paying customers' horses that she's allowing you to take out into the night. And she takes off their saddlebags to make sure that at least those are still there, but the saddles are still there. And she hands them to you, and
We leave Arv behind? We did leave Arv behind. Okay, cool. Just wanted to
Arv
make
is
sure.
with her.
no, he's not.
Oh, Arv is with us?
Yeah.
No,
No, he's not. I
Who
didn't,
got
I didn't go
Arv?
into his door.
nobody went in and got Arv.
Oh shit!
Nope,
that's
I did
right.
not get
Oh,
Arv.
That's why I said
I
that
was-
maybe we could grab Arv.
Right, but apparently it's an anti-magic place, so Arv is actually the worst mansion.
I didn't say it was an anti-magic. I said it was a mage slayer.
Exactly. Same thing.
Yeah, to Arsis
A
it
mage
would
doesn't
be the
wanna
same
be
thing.
there.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Are you
Five
going to
horses.
use a 2nd level spell to find Steed?
Hell yes.
Alrighty. So then you need 1 fewer horse. And as you do this, and
Holy
what
shit.
does that look like as you say, "I have a horse," and
Everyone's ignoring him, and he's in the back just saying
the-
prayers.
The rain parts a little bit, and through a sunbeam gallops a beautiful white stallion. And comes up to my hand and nuzzles it.
nice.
Yeah.
And
The
Bridget
celestial
kind of looks
fair
at you.
fiend.
Celestial.
Okay.
Bridget kind of looks. Oh, I guess that makes things a little bit easier. And she leads the smallest of the horses back to its stable and gives it to you guys.
Look back, and then I say, where the hell did you get that from?
Wait, did we always have a horse? I don't remember having a horse.
I want to be able to do that.
Lathander has seen it fit to grace us with
I don't.
this.
You know what?
stallion.
We'll worry
Alright,
about that later.
Bridget, can I pay you when I get back?
Yeah, that's fine. We'll work something out. We always do. Get out of here. Hurry, go.
right.
Whatever you need to do, just be back by 6. Otherwise, it's my ass. I don't want to have to answer to my brother.
I'll talk to Galen. Don't worry.
His name is
and-
Morning Star.
I'm just
Alright.
gonna get on the horse, and I'm gonna look at everybody else.
Yeah, and she's actively kind of pushing you out. And she's like, I want to shut these doors. Like, the rain's getting in. It's making the hay wet.
Yeah, I'll help her. I'll do my best. What I'm gonna do though is while I'm helping her wrangle the horses, I do want to cast Speak with Animals.
Okay.
And so I'll go ahead and I'll do that, and I'll basically just murmur to the animals, "Hey, we're really worried. Somebody's in trouble. We need you to go real fast. Can you do that for us?" Essentially, just kind of like reassuring them and asking them to put it their all.
You hear a lot of very confused murmurs from the 3 that are not yours. Something along the lines of, "You're not Charlie. Where's Charlie? This isn't my owner." Just, kind of being confused. But eventually, give me an animal handling check with advantage for using your Speak with Animals.
21.
Yeah, kind of even going as far as to give them an extra carrot or apple or something for them to chew on, kind of earning their trust, and they absolutely will do what they can in the weather and take off in the direction
West.
towards it's north. North towards the haunted halls of Eveningstar. But yes, taking off north past the barracks and past Deltar's mill. As you're riding past, even under the thunderous nature of the rain, the heavy rain pouring down onto the ground, you can still hear the stone grinding of the mill next to the river. You even hear the rushing of the river as you get up closer towards Deltar's
Meg's
mill.
hut.
Well, once you get up towards Old Meg's hut, it kind of dies down a little bit because of the widening. That's where the natural pool is at.
Got it. That's
But
right.
the force of the flooded water kind of pouring in is making it really loud, even difficult, especially with the galloping of the horses. Now, if there's any sort of conversation that's happening as you're going, it's going to have to be at a yell. But I need you all to make animal handling checks. Not Arsa, she already did it. But I need you all for your horse riding, but you get to use advantage because of Arsis.
Oh, God. gross. Oh, he doesn't. Herc doesn't need to though.
Yeah, Herc doesn't
Yeah,
need
it
to.
shouldn't
Yeah,
be.
this
Oh,
is
yeah,
this
no,
is
Herc's
your
good.
horse.
Yeah.
Oh, so
It's a good
I guess
horse.
I guess it's
Morningstar, it's
Rin
like-
too.
Ren.
Rin, yeah.
I'll roll her character sheet.
Can somebody ride with me?
I mean, maybe next time, but we have enough horses.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, that's already
Maybe I put
happened.
Ardu on
Yeah.
there. This one spook.
Not
Where's
romantic.
animal handling?
Yeah, but can you hold this? And you Ardu.
Nice.
I think it just
Nice.
reported it twice. The same roll.
They're both
Yeah.
20s.
Yeah,
Whoa,
the-
Jesus.
Oh.
Yeah.
4 times.
Okay.
Like the
You
You
Uber.
really
thing.
wanted to roll 4 20s there, didn't you?
I guess so.
420.
Well, so technically,
Lit.
I just rolled 20 twice. But because I have 2 instances of roll 20 open, it reports it to both of them. Like it's really weird to explain. But every time I roll from somebody's character sheet using Beyond 20 while I have both of them up, it causes it to roll twice.
Which is weird, because I can have multiple character sheets up, but I don't have that problem.
It's not the multiple character sheets, it's multiple instances of roll 20. Because I run one as the player
Oh.
screen, and then one as a DM screen, and I only
For
cast the
the,
player screen.
Yeah.
So you can't see any like not that it
stuff
would
if
ever
you're
really
watching.
if we were to ever be in the same spot for multiple times, you wouldn't see me pulling up notes and things like that, right? But it with an 11, Sammy, nothing bad happens except for your horse is very fatigued. And Arsis might even be able to assist with this. How long speak with animals last? 10 minutes?
I think so. Yeah, 10 minutes.
Arsis, you would probably hear Sammy is riding his horse way too hard. Like the kicking, the slapping of the stirrups, just overall just riding it way too hard. It's already going as fast as it can, and he's just like pushing it to, exertion or, slightly injuring the horse inadvertently. He's not trying to, but you
Right.
can tell that he's riding it
So
too
yeah, I'll
hard.
pull up next to him and I'll be like, Sammy, you've got to calm down, or you're gonna hurt the horse.
But only she's yelling at you because you wouldn't be able to hear otherwise.
And I don't even know if I would hear her yelling, but it'd be like in one ear right out the other. Like, my only thing is, fuck, what if the Kamitachi is real? What if the,
Sammy,
what if all the
Sammy!
shit that
and
I
I'll
was
smack
talking to
you.
them about? You smack me while you're riding a horse?
I would. I'd reach over and smack you.
It'd be pretty difficult.
It would be.
Yeah.
Maybe with the tip of my bow.
I could see you poking me with it. God, like, unless you're. My mind's on my brother.
If you don't listen to me, I will pull in front of your horse and get you to stop. Grab the rein. Do what I can. Sammy. Gotta calm down. You're going to kill this horse.
While we're still galloping, like, I'm closing my eyes and I'm just imagining my brother right now. The last time that I saw him 3 years ago. I'd probably slow the horse down.
You don't have to slow the horse down. You just have to stop kicking it.
I don't want to.
Yeah. Just hang on, and I'll grab the reins, and I'll just we'll go together. And because I can talk to the horse, I'll cord.
Eventually, after about an hour's ride, kind of winding, taking, coming out along the path, eventually having to divert to not necessarily a worn road like what you've been riding on, but like a little lesser known path that kind of wanders down next to the gorge. Eventually you make your way up through some woods and find yourself at the outer walls of the halls of Eveningstar. You see these massive stone walls rounded out with a central gate, and you pull up and you can see the walls are dilapidated, bricks are falling down and crushed into the ground, and the gates have long since rotted and fallen. You can see the wood just kind of hanging off onto the side, and as you go through, you see another wall with another tower and places for the previous tenants' guards to be standing watch, now long since abandoned. And as you come into the courtyard, you can see off to the left-hand side, you see a large well. And to the right, you see a ruined stables where the roof is completely destroyed, laying onto the ground. The wood posts that were holding it up splintered and laying. And the manor itself, a multi-storied building, windows boarded up, bashed out, is in an extremely terrible state of disrepair.
When we get up to the gates, I'll probably hop off the horse and take the rein and put it around any piece of metal at this point. Probably the rusted gate, if it's fallen and bent in any way, shape, or form, I would probably just wrap the rein around that. And I would begin immediately, like, looking around the area for anything, footprints, any put out fires, anything else, bodies even. Hopefully, to God, not yet, but
as you kind of chain your horse or tie your horse to the inner gatehouse, like iron that's kind of tangled over, it's heavy enough to where the horse wouldn't be able to run away. But you're still probably about 100 feet or so away from the manor itself. With the darkness around, it's going to be difficult looking unless you get
the
out
light
of
on.
Okay, yeah, you got your light.
Yeah, after he does that, Arthas is going to take the horses off of that. She's going to do a little bit of pat down, murmur to them, and then put them in a place where they can graze, but not wander off.
Okay.
Take some extra care of the horses.
Um,
Including yours, if you let me. Of course, yours poofs after, doesn't it?
But his horse stays around forever until it's slain.
Yeah, I'll have my horse direct the other horses, since it is a noble horse leader.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're able to do so.
Alpha horse.
Inside of the second wall, the grass is very overgrown. There's some natural like paths that maybe wild animals have kind of created themselves, you know, super narrow, just kind of where the grass is matted down a little bit, leading over to like the well and things like that. But they're able to graze and do whatever they want in this courtyard.
She's just going to take the extra few minutes to take care of the horses.
Okay. We got about 10 more minutes left if everybody's still okay on time. I want to get to a certain spot, but once we get there, we can absolutely stop.
That's all good.
Okay.
Yeah, and so as soon as the horses have been settled, she will also start looking for tracks, clues of anybody passing this way recently. It's hard in the rain, who knows, but she'll also cast light.
Okay. If you're looking for clues or tracks to that nature, give me a survival check at disadvantage rain just makes the DC higher. That's right. Yeah, go ahead and give me a survival check, please.
20.
Sammy, you're not going to do survival. You're going to do an investigation check or a perception check, one of the two.
No, John, how close are we to this like structure then?
The gates create like probably about, I don't know, 100 or so feet barrier between the gate and the entrance to the manor.
Gotcha.
Um, Give me a second. Okay. So we got Arsis with a 20 and Sammy with a 21. Arsis, initially, your tracks kind of lead you over towards the well. And as you walk over that direction, you can start to see that the grass is more recently tampered down. A little more so now that it's wet and tamped down, but you can also see that there appears to be some dirt or debris, like area on the well where it looks like somebody had wiped it off or maybe leaned over or something. There's a clean spot on the well where the grime and muck has been tampered with. You kind of stick your ear over top of the well and it just sounds windy and hollow. You don't hear any source of human or other nature down below. And kind of looking around the area, you see that it kind of leads. There's another trail that kind of creeps up closer towards the ruined building, and you start to peer over in that direction. Sammy, looking at the main door, you can see that it's relatively barred. It doesn't look like anybody's tried to make any sort of entry. Looking over into the stables and realizing that if they were coming up here trying to find something valuable, probably not going to find it over in the stables. Maybe they were looking for a piece of armor or something, and you can see remnants of like a smithy on the southern portion of the map, and kind of you and Arsis converge into that general area. And as you get closer and you break past the wall into the building, looking around with your light ring, you eventually hear labored breathing and coughing coming from deeper within. There's nobody in this particular room, but there are two doors kind of leading in further. One of them towards the back, further deep into the manor, and then one of them kind of sideways that would lead more towards the main entrance of the, probably deeper into the, like the residential portion of the manor.
So Arsis will look at Sammy,
Just go get the others. Get the others right quick.
and I'll lean out and signal for the others to come if they're paying any attention.
Very
Yeah,
quietly, I'm gonna take my movement forward.
And then I've got my bow actually drawn, and Ardu's with me, and I'll follow him a couple paces behind him.
I'll probably coming up. I'll be behind the both of them.
Okay, give me just 1 second. I have to look at this map.
Should I be looking at a new map? Or you're about to load one?
No, I'm not loading that map yet.
Okay.
He's just trying to describe the room to us better.
Okay.
Yeah, this portion's just going to be theater of the mind.
Okay.
But I'm trying to look at...
I
Okay.
think he's loading, guys.
Yeah, no, I'm good. Okay, as you get into... Wait, hold on. I'm sorry, did you open up the door into the other room where you
I
heard the
haven't
coughing
opened up
from?
any door yet.
Okay.
I just said that I'm moving as quietly as I possibly can while moving forward.
Okay. Towards the direction of the labored breathing and coughing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, eventually you get to the wall, and on the other side of that wall you can still hear the coughing, and you can even hear some groans of what appears to be a more adult male voice.
Okay. Open these doors. Riker, you still have my weapons.
Oh,
Can I get those back?
yeah. I'll hand everyone their weapons, and I'll take out the Eldritch Cannon.
I will step back so that I'm kitty corner with the door, so that when he's opened it, I get a clear shot.
Okay.
I have my bow. I have a ready action essentially to shoot if it looks non.
Okay.
And then I'll have my rapier out and just look around one time, make sure everybody is ready.
Okay.
I will quietly open the door.
As you open up the door, peer inside, scan across the room, and you can see one layer of wall. It's probably only about half high that's been completely knocked down, and now you're looking into past the hallway into the main hall, the main entrance of the manor, and you can see on the far side, kind of laying up against the stairwell, your father, bleeding profusely from his chest and stomach area. And he looks over in all of your direction, kind of blinded by the light. And he coughs and... Help me, please. I need help.
I'll pull the turtleneck over my face so he doesn't see me.
I'll look at Sammy for what he
And
wants.
I'm gonna come into the room, and I'll keep the light in front of me. So it makes it even harder for him to see my face. And while I'm scanning the room,
As you step over the half wall, the torn down plaster wall, you step into the main foyer area. You can see an ornate rug, kind of once ornate, now tattered and ripped to shreds, and you can see dirt, debris, dust, feces just kind of piled up in corners. Probably not from your dad; those are still in his pants. But anyways, like
Pants, not his body.
the rug peeled back, you can see what appears to be a trap door that is flung open, leading downwards, and you hear your father. There's an abomination creature.
how many are there?
How many of me? It's me and my son. It took my son. He's wounded me and drug him below. We were going to climb, but as we opened up the door, it snatched him.
Arg.
Yeah, hands of healing on.
Okay.
So, out of the gloom
No.
comes this half orc. Let me touch you.
Let me get all in here.
Rest
Right.
easy, old timer. My name is Herc Heartsong. I'm from Zuzail. You're in safe hands now. I will heal him.
My name is Rexel, son by the same name. Took him. large, blanky, bone-like creature. I've never seen
One of
anything
the-
like it.
Would it be one of the Kimitari or the
I don't know what the shit it was.
Luciferia? Hmm.
I've never seen anything like it. Otherworldly. It had to be. And even though you're healing him, he is still exhausted from laying there injured for, a long period of time, unable to move from his wounds.
I guess I'll
Do
do.
you only give him 1 hit point?
No, I'll do like 5.
What
I mean,
were
that
you
would-
doing in here?
As the healing starts to take hold a little bit and realize he's not imminently dying, little bastardly courage comes back. Well, that's none of your damn business what I was doing in here.
Do we throw him back down in there?
He looks over at you, Arsis. What'd you say?
I said, do we throw him back down there?
I never went
If it wasn't,
down in there. We
if it wasn't
tried.
for that person right there, you'd be dead. So at the very least, you offer us that.
These new bandits, the sons of Rivior, came in. Got a gambling habit, and I got in bad. They broke my leg once to send a message, and after that healed and I still hadn't paid, they beat my wife. They told me that if I didn't find it, they'd do more than just beat him. So me and my son came here hoping we'd be able to find some artifact we could pawn to pay my debts.
Now we gotta stop the bone creature. Bandits?
What?
I'll look at Sammy.
The bandits aren't here. The bandits... They don't trust this place. That's why they send other people here.
The longer we wait, more risk. The other person-
Please,
Chain him.
help my
Chain him
son.
to
Find
that
him.
wall.
And he looks
Hey.
at you. I'm not
Where
of
was
any
he gonna
threat, I
go?
swear. I need to get down there after my son. I need to go tell my wife. I need to rally up the Purple Dragon Knights. Something.
Great, let's chain him. I'll take a
Something
rope out
tells
of
me
my...
that you would leave him to save your own skin.
I won't chain him to a wall, but I will hobble and tie his hands.
Okay.
He can't go anywhere.
He resists, but he's
I
not
will
strong
also
enough to be able to resist
Drag
you
him
fully.
out to the horses. Not in the rain,
Oh,
but
I was
like,
gonna say, okay, yeah.
yeah, like right by the door. That way we could grab him if we had to take a hasty exit.
Okay.
Herc, you want help?
I don't know why his son's down there. Where's he going to go?
To warn the town, get other innocent people hurt.
You wouldn't do that, would you? We're more than capable of taking care of whatever it is down there. You believe me, right?
Are you casting? Are you intimidating or something?
Yeah.
That sounded like he was intimidating him there.
Are you rolling an intimidation for me?
He is.
Okay.
Yeah, I got an 11.
Oh, my connection to the server was interrupted, so
Oh,
it
wow.
didn't
Same.
show
Oh,
up.
yeah,
Guess I have to
same, actually.
reroll.
No,
Guess
I'll
I'll-
take
there
your
we
word for
go.
in the condition that he's in, like he doesn't object. He just please bring him back in one piece. I don't know what I'd
Besides,
do.
What if something came up here and found him like this? He'd be helpless, chained to a wall.
Well, I mean, if anything were to find him, it'd have to go through us first.
I'm not gonna.
You guys dragged him out of this building and to the gate
No, the
no,
front door
into the
area.
yeah. Where
Front door,
you
okay,
guys?
got
I thought it was where you guys originally came in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like inside the building still,
Yeah.
so it was dry. But like on the way out,
Okay.
if we had to.
Okay. Are you climbing down into the hole?
I was gonna say while they're doing that, I'm probably gonna peek my head around the corner and says, "I'll see you down there."
Oh wait,
Then
I'll come. I'll be right behind you, and then I'll jump in behind him.
Alrighty, so
Yeah.
marching order. Actually, we'll hold it right there, and we'll pick up next session. Inside the haunted halls of Eveningstar.
I hope this becomes